Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Mic hot, crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I let A, back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with Shay.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. Shay's too. She back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. Now you thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. And you thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? What's going on? Welcome to Shay's Tube Late Night Talk Time, y'all. It's Shay's Tube Late Night Owls Talk Time, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happy and blessed Thursday to you guys. And I hope you have a beautiful Thursday, okay? And I hope your Wednesday went pretty good as well, all right? So let's go ahead and do the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area of this video. Part of it is scrolling across that screen, and it will be in my comment area as soon as I can get it there, all right? All right, guys, if you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure you guys thumbs it up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below and hit that bell notifications so you can be notified of any and all videos. All right. Welcome to Jermaine. Okay. And thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches this in the replay. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. Guys, you can also support this channel by doing a super sticker, a super chat, or a membership for $4.99. Or you can do a cash app to $Shades too. All right. So thank you guys in advance for that. All right. So tonight, guys, we got a big old show for you guys. So we'll get you something to drink, a relaxing seat or bed. If you are at work, continue to do your job or watch or listen to me on the down low, because we do have a big show tonight. All right. And we are going to be talking about Jeffrey Metcalf. His use of a racial slur against a Black woman in a live stream. We're going to be touching on Charleston White, how he is now supporting Karmelo Anthony after finding out more information about this situation. Also, Garth Brooks, his updates on his allegations. Sara Feilds and Drew Anthony feud. And Drew is Karmelo's dad, okay? And of course, Jeffrey is Austin's dad, okay? And we're gonna do some updates regarding the Texas flood, and then we got some updates on Diddy as well, okay? So we are getting ready to do that in 1 second, y'all. Let me take this thing off real quick. I just got home not too long ago. It's hot. It's hot, and my voice is out a little bit too from allergies, so bear with me tonight. All right. So anyway, hold on for 1 second, y'all. Let me put this over here, and then we'll be ready to start this live. You can go back out if you want to. Kitty, unless you're ready to go to bed. You ready to go to bed? You going to bed? Sable? You can go back out if you want. And there's the door right there. All right. So first thing first, y'all, let's go ahead and touch on Diddy first, okay? Let's go ahead and do Diddy, and we're going to talk about Superhead. She's back out here, talking about Diddy again. So we're going to watch that real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and touch on that. I also want to, I think I want to talk about something else concerning Diddy as well, if I decide to talk about it, okay? So let's go ahead and watch Superhead first, and then we'll go from there, right? Because it's 10:58 out here on the West Coast, so we can't be in here till 4 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see. All right, so let me go ahead and change everything up here so we can go ahead and do this. Okay, let's see here. Banners, okay. So let me go ahead and do it right here. Let me do an edit. She actually called herself by her name now, but I'm just going to put it up here like this. Actually, I can put a name up here too. Let's see. Let's see if I got it over here somewhere. I don't even see it. I thought I had tagged her. Let's stay on phone, man. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. I thought I did tag her. I'll put it back in here when I'm done because I don't see her name up here. So anyway, let's just leave it like that because I thought I had saved this. Sometimes this phone be acting crazy. All right, let me go ahead and mute this a little bit because I know I did put that tag on there earlier. And then I was like, I don't see it. Maybe I didn't save it. All right, so let's go ahead and get ready to watch Superhead talk about Diddy. And it's just that damn video is a trip. Anyway, hey, Tony Bands, what's up? What's up? What's up? I hope you're having a good night at work. All right, so let's go ahead and watch it, you guys. Wait a minute, let me write her name on here real quick. I don't know why this crazy. Oh, no, I know what happened. I did have it on the thing right there. I was looking at a screenshot. All right, let's go ahead and watch her. Let's see if she's going to confess anything new.
Sent certain people down the direction. I posed questions in that book that that I think sent certain people down the direction that leads us to where we are now.
Just explain that a little more. What were the questions you think that we're talking about?
Well,
if I can find another copy. I hate the way these people play music. Let's see if we can do it right here.
Do you actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
What?
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think
so not to my knowledge. I don't think anything right now. Just not to my knowledge, because honestly,
that's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did or not.
Yeah, isn't it?
Mm.
Let me stop this real quick. This girl is absolutely, I don't know. See, I don't know. Maybe she's scared to say anything. It's just crazy why that they going response she just gave. That's a hot ass mess. Let me finish playing it.
It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Pierce, before now, again, before I went through my text, again, I hadn't read Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it. It was painful to write. So I
Right.
never wanted to re-traumatize myself and go through those years again.
Right.
And think about this. I'm a middle-aged woman at this point. I don't want to go back into my 20s and see what happened. But in gathering information for this interview here, reading that passage again for the first time in 20 years, I questioned a lot of things, like, well, why was he so afraid? And why did he try to, make my boyfriend feel as if I wasn't trustworthy? And
Do you think he took advantage of you when you were under the influence of alcohol and drugs?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But
do you fear that's the case now from everything you've read?
Honestly, yes. Given the context, now that I know, because again, I never knew any of these things about him before. So the things that I learned in the trial, I did not know. I never saw that side of him. I did not know. I never understood. And again, in 2005, when I published Confessions, it says I didn't understand why he was so fearful of me, because our time together was pleasant. And I was like, wait, what is he so afraid of? What does he not want me to tell? I didn't see anything at that point. At that point, I hadn't seen anything. At that point, we had, I thought, just a friendly, platonic night together. So I was confused then. And 20 years later, I'm confused now. So to my knowledge, I've never had sex with Sean Combs. We never had that kind of relationship.
But you can't be sure.
Given what we know now, I can't be sure.
And how does that make you feel?
And that saddens me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
It saddens me, honestly. Yeah, because honestly, during this entire process, I've been shying away from publicity and just letting the trial unfold. I knew things from just being around and people talking, but I didn't know what was going to come out. There's a few things that I saw that without context were strange to me, but I didn't understand them until the trial. And so I've been quiet this whole time, and I disappeared off of social. I just disappeared for the past year, waiting for this thing to unfold. In the unfolding of what I believe to be facts, and definitely the testimonies of Cassie and Jane and even some of the men, and then looking back at the text, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, when he said, if anything got out, and I'm like, and I remember at the time being so confused, like anything, like what got out? Like nothing happened. We hung out. You were kind. At some point I went to sleep. I don't know when, but I woke up and then we had breakfast and you were kind and I left. Nothing happened. I don't know, Pierce. I feel, just in the last 24 hours, I question what I thought I knew about my time with him.
You detailed in your books romantic relationships with a lot of famous people from that world: Jay-Z, DMX, Van Diesel, Lil Wayne, Method Man, even Bill Maher, LL Cool J, Mr. Carl, and others. You had a lot of famous guys you dated. And who knows what the nature of what happened with Diddy was about. But do you feel that this whole world has now changed? Do you actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all?
Hold on. Let's see if we can find the rest of this. Okay. I don't know if this is the part 2. Let's see.
Do you actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all then?
I think this is the same thing.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any?
Let's go there.
A lot of famous guys you dated. And who knows what the nature of it.
She's lying. Let's look at that book real quick, because I want to see if she ever said anything about Diddy back then. Okay. And now she's changing up everything now. So she was speaking about the Diddy trial right there. I think we just watched some of this. Let's see. I'm trying to see if she spoke about Diddy years ago. That's a weird ass response. Not to my knowledge. Is she saying that to leave it open for the possibility of a lawsuit or what? Well, let's see what this dude say first, okay? Gene Deal says something totally different.
Friend's mother was a pick-me. She thought that by having babies with people, her looks would keep a man. Very nasty towards her daughter.
But the first person who called me a slut or a whore or a tramp was my mom.
Made her feel shame and guilt for the most traumatic point in her life.
It's funny to me how everyone is so concerned about naming the celebrity, but no one is concerned about me naming the man that raped me when I was 13. When I got home, my mother grabbed me by the hair, threw me on the ground, and started kicking me and punching me and telling me what a whore I was.
I could also see like where the internalized misogyny, all of that comes from with Corinne because of having a mother like this and being stabbed in the back by similar type of women. Even says multiple times in the book how like she just doesn't get along with girls, doesn't get along with women, like, and the only people she can get along with is men and blah 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 blah. Doesn't make it a correct or right mindset. I'm just saying I can understand why she is the way she is in that retrospect.
Friend's mother was
I
a
thought
pick.
she was gonna
She
talk
thought
about
that by
Diddy.
having babies with people.
I thought women, they always went to the wrong.
Friend's mother was a pick.
Why is this going to the other video?
Friend's mother was a pick.
Let's see. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so what video is that? Maybe if I go on this one to play Gene Deal.
History with your favorite hoochie historian, Zorraine Truly. Do you know the hoochie history?
Let me go back to this one. I don't know why this video won't.
Friend's mother was a
Let's see if
pick.
I can go down. Okay, there you go.
And Puff said, yo, Gene, watch the door. Don't let nobody come through the door. And I said, all right. And Slav set it up. And I wanted to say it was Corinne, but I'm not sure it was her. But it was supposed to be somebody that was either up to her level in fellatios, or it was her. I'm not sure. And while Jennifer was upstairs, he was down there getting a fellatio from her. It was nobody. It was somebody that was. I think I'm for sure. I'm almost sure it was her. I'm almost sure it was her.
You actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all then?
She lying, y'all.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not know. Well, not to my knowledge.
So what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
What you think?
So not to my knowledge. No, I don't think anything right now. I just not to my knowledge because honestly.
That's a very strange response though, to not remember whether you did or not.
Yeah, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Pierce, before I went through my text, again, I hadn't read Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it. It was painful to write. So I never wanted to re-traumatize myself and go through those years again. And think about this. I'm a middle-aged woman at this point. I don't want to go back into my 20s and see what happened. But in gathering information for this interview here, reading that passage again for the first time in 20 years, I questioned a lot of things like, well, why was he so afraid? And why did he try to, make my boyfriend feel as if I wasn't trustworthy? And
do you think he took advantage of you when you were under the influence of alcohol and drugs?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But
do you fear that's the case now from everything you've read?
Honestly, yes. Given the context, now that I know, because again, I never knew any of these things about him before. So the things that I learned in the trial, I did not know. I never saw that side of him. I did not know. I never understood. And again, in 2005, when I published Confessions, it says I didn't understand why he was so fearful of me, because our time together was pleasant. And I was like, wait, what is he so afraid of? What does he not want me to tell? I didn't see anything at that point. At that point, I hadn't seen anything. At that point, we had, I thought, just a friendly, platonic night together. So I was confused then. And 20 years later, I'm confused now. So to my knowledge, I've never had sex with Sean Combs. We never had that kind of relationship.
But you can't be sure.
Given what we know now, I can't be sure.
And how does that make you feel?
And that saddens me.
Yeah, I was gonna.
And Puff said, "Yo, Gene, watch the door. Don't let
Let's see
nobody
this
come through
again.
the door." And I said, "All right." And Slav set it up, and I wanted to say it was Korean, but I'm not sure it was her. But it was supposed to be somebody that was either up to her level in fellatios, or it was her. I'm not sure. And while Jennifer was upstairs,
Damn.
he was down there getting a fellatio from her. It wasn't. It was nobody. It was somebody that was. I think. I'm for sure. I'm almost sure it was her. I'm almost sure it was her.
Do you actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all then?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not know. Well,
Why is she?
not to my knowledge.
Why is she pretending? It seems like she may be not telling the truth. Okay, I don't know for sure though. She may be telling the truth, but if she isn't telling the truth, why do you guys think she's not being honest about that? Let me see. I'm trying to go back and see if I can find anything about her book that if she talked about Diddy back in the day. Let me just see. While we think about that. Trying to see. Let me just type this up here first. Maybe it'll come up here like this. Let's see if she'll say anything. These are the same videos. Yeah, not to my knowledge. I'm thinking maybe she's saying that like that for future. In the future, she can go back and claim she now remembers and he did take advantage of her. I mean, so this is a week ago. Let's see what she's saying here.
And since we are all up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday because the majority of us are parents, did y'all read what Karrinesteffans said about the Diddy situation? She said something. I don't know why most people don't like Karrinesteffans, but the honesty she gave with this, what I'm about to tell you, if you never respected her, you have no choice but to now. Karrinesteffans said that her experience with the Diddy parties and the freak offs and the whole situation, she said that one executive gave her to him as a gift, and she would not label herself as a victim because everything she did was willing. She said she's not gonna, take the light off of the victims who didn't have a choice, and she's not gonna. She's basically not claiming that. She's one of the ones who went willingly. And when I read that, I had to stop because I was like, that's different. She's one of the only ones, I think the only one who admitted she went willingly. But she described what the setting was like. She said it was like a Great Gatsby type of thing. Women were topless, tuxedos and things. You got to go look it up yourself. I ain't going to put all the details.
I need to look that up.
Look up some stuff for yourself. But I think we needed to address that. She is probably the only one who said she was willing, but she said the parties were definitely extreme, but she was a willing participant. That's why she haven't really, come out with, she's not pulling in with the victims because she said she's not a victim. Y'all need to go look at that because that's crazy.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out because I thought I recalled her talking about Diddy back in the day. Okay, so this girl is saying that Kareem went to those parties, but she said she was a willing participant. Plus, she said that allegedly, she said that somebody gave her to Diddy as a gift. So why is she not telling the truth now? Because if she did everything willingly, why not say, yeah, I did this with Sean, unless she just don't want to incriminate him or something, maybe opening up for more charges or something in the future. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out why did she just basically lied when you can just go back to certain things, videos, and you can hear what she said. He said Gene knows, but he's just not going to admit it. He said attention is a hella drug, and also trying to get money is too. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what else I can find on her real quick, because I just want to hear her talk about that book. Her book. Let me look at Karine talking about the Diddy parties. See if I can spell her name. It's two. That's spelled her name wrong too. Let's see if we can pull up anything about that. I don't want to see nothing new. I want to see if we can go back to a couple of years ago. So let's see what she. This is a long time ago. Let's see what she said in this.
There's the Ja Rules and the Vin Diesels, the Shaquilles. I don't know, whoever.
And you're saying you had sex with all the men that you just named?
Yes.
So why did you write this book?
Well, initially when I started writing the book, it was for my own purpose. I had gone through a lot. Because the book isn't about sex, and it's not about hip hop, and it's not about rappers. It's about my journey from being an abused child to being raped as a young child to being, going through spousal abuse, a young mother, and then getting into that, and then having to, almost dying with a drug overdose, and then once I began to heal myself, close to about 4 years ago, I really had to figure out what happened to me in order for me to heal. I had to admit it to myself what I did.
But you had to know that naming the names and talking about the sexual exploits is what was going to put the book, at the top of New York's best-selling list. I mean, it's number 5 on the best-selling list in New York Times.
Yeah, it is. And we're number 3 at the Washington Post, and we're also in the Wall Street Journal and all major markets. But honestly, that part was a surprise to me. And I didn't know that. All I knew was that I had to tell the stories that were relevant to my life, and everyone is named. And it's funny to me how everyone is so concerned about naming the celebrities, but no one is concerned about me naming the man that raped me when I was 13. And how his life is going to be now. You know what I mean? And so it just shows me that we're in a celebrity hypnotized society.
But you were hypnotized by the celebrity.
Exactly.
Which is the whole point of the book. Why people are so into
exactly,
it.
Which is what's so ironic and so wonderful, because that's the point of the book. Just being hypnotized by that and just really wanting a place to belong and needing a family, needing love, and thinking sex and love are equated. And that's why there's a lot of sex in the book. And each time I have sex with someone, you'll read in the book where I say, I just loved him.
Why do you say that? Because I noticed that. I noticed that you would have sex with this guy and you said that you loved him.
Yeah.
What was that emotion that you were feeling, and why would you say something like that?
Because in my head I did. Because
in the book she says that she'd have sex with somebody and then they'd get up and then they'd leave, or they'd tell you to leave. So how could you equate that with love?
I was never told to leave. I just think that, I spent years with people. There's hardly anyone, there's a few, maybe 1 or 2 in there where it was uncomfortable and we separated. Jay-Z was like that. Dr. Dre was like that, where you just know you're better off being acquaintances and not lovers, and you stay friends afterwards. There are people in there that I stayed with for years, just off and on. But everyone would have to go. No one lived where I lived. They had lives other places. And so,
have you upset people from writing this book?
I haven't heard anything from anyone. The people that are most upset will be my mother and my ex, because they were the most brutal to me. And I was honest about that brutality, and that upsets them.
So these rappers aren't upset that you wrote about them?
No, they're fine, because there are so many things that I left out. The things that I got a lot of calls.
So if you ran into Usher, or you ran into Jay-Z, or you ran into, they're like, hey, Karine, it's cool?
Well, we haven't been cool for years. You know what I mean? So it's not like I've had friendships all this time. These are people that I haven't spoken to, with the exception of Usher, who I haven't spoken to in years. And so when we do see each other, and we do, 4 Seasons brunch, and you just kind of pass each other, and you do one of these, and you just keep going.
Because I'll admit, if somebody wrote something about me in a book, I'd be pissed off.
Yeah, people wrote things about me in songs. So I've been pissed off before. I've been written about in magazines, that were lies. And I've been pissed off before too. So I know how it feels. But the difference is that the things that were written about me weren't the truth. And this is the truth. And I tell them, as I tell everyone, if your name is in this book and you see something that you don't like, then you shouldn't have done it.
So do you think that you wrote this book because of revenge, out of revenge?
No, see, revenge is something that happens when people are miserable and upset and
so weren't
bitter.
You miserable and upset?
Not when I wrote this book. Not when I wrote this book.
Karine, I have to disagree with you, because when I read the book, you were saying that you're really upset that, that you were down and out, that these were the guys that you would go out with and wine and dine and spend a lot of money and hang out.
Yeah.
And then You had
But
your
I
rock
still have that
bottom.
lifestyle now. The
No, but I'm
lifestyle
saying, but
hasn't changed.
but I'm talking about your rock bottom, and you hit a rock bottom where you were
Mhm.
homeless,
Yeah,
living in the car with your son,
absolutely.
freezing to death, and
Absolutely.
using jackets to stay
But
warm.
all of that was my fault.
But
That
I'm saying,
wasn't their
but what I'm
fault.
saying is, you called these guys and
Uh-huh.
said, "I need some help,"
Yeah.
and
And
none
they
of them
said
helped
no.
you. None of them helped you.
The same man who wrote me a $10,000 check on our first date wouldn't help me. Everything that happened to me was my fault. I did it to myself.
But
I
then why name
allowed
names?
people-
If there's no anger, why name the names?
Why not? It's just the truth. And so now that I've healed, it feels right to say, you know what? Let's not give this a pretty name anymore. Let's not say I was hanging out. Let's not say I was. And a lot of us spend our lives being ashamed of who we are and what we've done and are afraid to share that with our
It doesn't
children.
bother me that you're not ashamed. I admire the fact that you're not ashamed. I think what bothers me is that I think you are a very smart woman. You're very articulate. And I think you do know exactly what you did. And you knew that naming names would be the thing that makes the press, because you were attracted to that. You're attracted to names. You're attracted to celebrity. And I think you do understand that naming these names means that, you know, this is going to get attention. And I want you to be honest and sit here and be honest with me.
Well, you know what? I just wrote the book, and my publisher made that decision. Initially, the book had no names in it, and there are a lot of things that have been taken out.
But the publisher can only make the decision.
The publisher
of what
made
you
the
agree with.
decision, and I agreed with it because I felt that it was the truth and it was actual. I didn't hide anything in
You
that
just said
book.
you hid a lot.
Well, I mean, of all the things that were written, I didn't hide names and places and dates to protect people. This isn't a book about protection. It's a book about honesty and confessions, both on my side and hopefully on theirs.
How mad were you at those rappers that didn't support you?
Not
during your
mad at
time
all,
with
because
them?
I went back to them. It wasn't like they said no to me and then I was like, oh, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to write a book. It was okay. I went back. They gave me more money. I hung out. I still took the trips. I still did all of that. And then I left because I knew.
Not every single one of these guys.
Every single one of
Not
these guys.
every
what?
single one. You didn't go back to every single one of them.
Well, the ones that had the most money, the ones that were flying me around, because I was
Wow.
homeless. Because I was homeless at the time. I was homeless at the time, and I had to find a way to get back on
Of
my
course
feet.
you did.
So in the back of my head, I know, okay, you don't care about me. So when I told you I was getting evicted, you said whatever. So now I said, hey, everything's fine. Well, yeah, that was just, you know, that was a bad week. I'm fine now. Okay, here you go, more money. I knew that if I wasn't the party girl anymore, then they wouldn't take care of me.
Karrinesteffans, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
And
maybe
thank you for being honest.
Diddy. Why do they be putting these titles up here?
Dying inside, aren't you? I haven't been the hardest on you. I've seen your interviews, and there have been people that are super duper duper hard on you.
Say nothing
This was
about
actually a
Diddy
walk in the
party.
park.
Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it today.
Nothing.
I'm moody.
You're moody?
Yeah.
Well, you came on, and hopefully you're on a better step to get in your life.
Oh no, there's the Ja Rules and the Vin Diesels, the Shaquilles.
Maybe a lot of people were saying, why did Tara get kind of, you know, a little looking like, you know, upset, I guess. And some people, I'm saying she probably, maybe she dated somebody whose name was listed. Who knows? I'm trying to figure out, because they got the wrong titles and stuff up in here. We already saw that. So right here, let's look and see what this one says right here, okay?
You guys went to go hang out with Diddy, and it was at a gay club?
It was at a club, and there were gay people in the club.
They took you to a gay club?
That's how I wrote it, because I don't know whether it's a gay club or not. It's a club.
No, they got music.
And they were. There's always gay people in the club.
There's always gay people in the club.
There's always gay people.
I hate people who talk like this. She reminds me of somebody else. Don't answer the question, but go all around it, but not really agree to anything. Give hints, but don't really say yes. We went to a gay club, but it was gay people around. All right, that's crazy. And they said that she spoke out against Diddy in the book. Okay, so I mean, now she's playing like she doesn't know anything. We're gonna go look at Wendy Williams too, because I want to see what Wendy said about Sean Diddy Combs. Hold on, let me go up a little because they got music playing.
Was hype. We were all living, like we were having fun. Like we were probably all high as kites at this point. But this was after a particular conversation him and Sean had upstairs at the house, where Sean Diddy said to Exhibit, you know, be careful with her, speaking about me, because I had known Sean before. You know, she'll have you on tape with, this is a quote that X told me, she'll have you on tape with fingers in your booty.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay, let's stop there right there. That music in the background. I wish they didn't have that music. But that's a hot ass mess. So they didn't trust her because they thought she would be taping stuff and then putting it out. Because she told on a lot of people, you guys, back in the day. Let me see what else I can find. I said I wanted to see more about her talking about Diddy. Let's see if I can find anything. I wish they would stop playing music. So I'm wondering too if she got any drugs from him, and that's why she don't remember. She might do remember though. We don't know for sure. So what is this right here? Let's see what she's saying here real quick. I hope they don't have no music playing.
Child, let's get into this real quick.
Let's see. That's her book.
Beauty is the Beast. An early morning conversation with the Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx set forth a series of events and provoked a slew of emotions that have changed me. You know, it's amazing how the typical evening can turn into anything.
So she mentioned
and how
the
you can
recalls
walk
in the
into
book.
a situation oozing with confidence, child, then walk out of it unsure of everything you've ever known. It was 5 a.m. in Los Angeles, and I was leaving my favorite speakeasy. That's what I like to call it. But the appropriate term for this establishment is private membership community. Now, what type of party is that? Come on now, child. So she says the party starts around 1 a.m. and carries on until 5. The members of this special community are some of the most elite. Y'all ain't gonna get me. Elite. For those that know, elite, okay? The members of this special community are some of the most elite people in the entertainment, friends of the elite, or in some cases, friends of friends. The party is held every Saturday night, but members of this private membership community never know where the party will be held until they receive an email from the establishment announcing the location. Now, I heard in an interview somewhere that they party in Hollywood like on Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Like that's really, but that might have been pinpointed at Diddy. I don't know. We talking about Jamie Foxx right now. My bad. The party is held every Saturday night, but members of this private membership community never know when the party will be held until they receive an email from the establishment announcing the location, which changes every weekend. In order to belong to this elite club of partygoers, one must pay a membership fee ranging anywhere from $650 to $4,000 a month. How much you pay depends on how many guests you want to bring and whether it is an individual or corporate sponsorship.
What?
Child, what type of party? What type of shindig is this?
Some kind of freak off party shit going on.
Let's get into this real quick.
Let's see what else we got. So they paying memberships like that. So when y'all hear people on social media talking about Diddy hit them up and Diddy invited them to places and shit, like, don't believe that shit for real. Just don't believe it. All right. Let's see what they're saying here. I'm trying to figure out what else she say on Diddy, because we know she's not telling the truth right here. And she wrote about that. Listen, everybody keeps saying she wrote about Diddy's party in that book. So why is she saying now, like she don't know, like she doesn't know if she did anything with him or not? Gene Deal just said that he believes that she was in the room giving him top while J-Lo was upstairs. He had to watch the door. You know, honestly, I believe him. I really do. Because I don't understand why would he, you know, just be making up stuff. So let's see if we can find anything else. We already seen her. Let's see. I don't see enough on her. I was trying to look and see if I see any old videos of her. I don't see anything. Don't see nothing. Let's see. Let me see if I can type in exposing Diddy. Because I thought I remember back in the day she was talking about him. Let's see real quick. Let's change this. And after we do this one, I'm gonna have to go ahead and move on because it may take too long. Let's see what she's saying here. This is part two.
There are men in this industry who have left this country, who are now living on islands and in different countries, you know, to escape persecution from things like this. There are men that I know personally who are involved in this, who have done things similar to this, who have parties like this. Diddy's not the only one. This is not a Sean Combs problem. This is a societal community issue here in this town. And it's not just the artists, it's also their attorneys, their publicists, it's the hotels. I was brutalized in a hotel, and guess what happened? That tape disappeared. When I went to get my police report from the police station, it was destroyed, all within 48 hours to protect the person who had brutalized me. It is systemic. So it doesn't matter, you know, if Diddy gets off or not, in the sense that it won't stop anything. I think if anything, it makes it all worse.
Well, that is a sobering way to end. But thank you very much indeed, Elizabeth Overson. I appreciate it.
So she said that Diddy isn't the only one, and we already know that. So probably a lot of them. Okay. And let's see what else we got going on here. I would like to see. They're not telling us what she's saying in this book. We already went over that. Hold on, y'all. Let me just look and see. Let's see what she's saying right here. What is this girl? So let's see what she's talking about real quick.
You know what? Think about this whole Diddy
We can't listen to her. She spilled tea on Diddy. I'm trying to find that, you guys, so we can see. Let's see.
Now, and if y'all haven't heard yet, ex-video vixen Karrinesteffans, this woman right here, is claiming she was once gifted to P. Diddy for one of his freak-off parties by Irv Gotti. Now, to y'all younger generation or people who live up under a rock, Karrinesteffans, aka Superhead, is an ex-video vixen who is best known for her book that she released called Confessions of a Video Vixen, where she talks about her life and her time working in the music industry as a video vixen, where she also name drops hella celebrities that she messed around with, such as the late and great DMX, Ja Rule, Jay-Z, OG rapper Kool G Rap, Lil Wayne, Shaq, and a lot more others. Now, let me tell you this. She got the name Superhead because word on the street, she is a throat goat. Man, listen, it is said that her head is so good that every man she ever came across now has permanent curled toes, and to this day, they all walking around with balled up toes in their shoes, and I ain't lying. Man, it is even said that she's the reason why Shaq's career eventually fell off. Because after she got her hands on him, he couldn't play basketball no more because his toes was balled up in those weak ass Shaqs, so it stopped him from playing at an all-time high. And I can't even lie if I wanted to. I need some shit like that. But back to the news though, because according to her, in 2001, after Diddy broke up with Jennifer Lopez, she claims around this time, while she was in a limo with Irv Gotti and Ja Rule, popping pills and drinking champagne, Diddy pulled up next to them and told Irv Gotti he wanted her. And she claims because of this, Irv Gotti gifted her to Diddy for one of his freak-off parties. Now, also according to her, she doesn't consider herself a victim of Diddy's because she voluntarily went by herself. But she also claims that when she got to Diddy's freak-off party, she witnessed topless women walking around with angel wing costumes, passing around champagne and drugs to the guests. And while she was also at the party, she witnessed groups of people having group sex in some of Diddy's bathrooms. And she also describes the parties as being very intense. Now, to me, I can believe everything she because she got around so much that she wrote 2 books about her time in the industry and all the men she slept with. But what's y'all's opinion? Y'all think she's telling the truth?
So now we know for sure.
Now, and if y'all
listen, now we know for sure this lady is just lying, sitting up here. I mean, did she not remember what she wrote in her books with the interviews and things like that? Because she just said that Irv Gotti gifted her to Diddy for one of his freak-off parties. So you mean to tell me she went to a freak-off party, right? She was gifted to him, and she was known to be doing all this stuff back in the day, right? You mean to tell me she didn't do anything with Diddy? And then Gene Deal says that she was giving Diddy top. So I mean, I really think she's not telling the truth, guys. Because just listening to the information that I just played, you know, I mean, she's telling stuff, and I guess she doesn't recall that she said these things. You know, just crazy. I mean, why do people get up there and change stories around when they know you can go investigate? Let me see what she's saying in this one right here, okay? This is the one with exhibit. Allegedly, they all went to a club with men in there as well, okay? And you can see it right there. It's right there. You can read it right there. I need to read that book because I have never read it ever. Let's see it. Maybe we should we'll look at that one in a minute. So let's look at this one.
Diddy just broke up with Jennifer Lopez.
We can't listen to that. That music is out. Let's see. Let's see what they talk about here.
There was a party in Miami, and you showed up with Exhibit, and it was Puffy was at the party, or it was his party. And when he saw you come in, it was like he saw a ghost, and he immediately asked you why you were there. He thought that you were there to blow up his spot. He then pulled Exhibit aside and asked Exhibit to get you out of the party. That you supposedly had pictures with your fingers up his behind hole.
Well, that's not what he said. I think the quote was the Exhibit relayed to me was, she'll have you on camera with fingers in your booty, and
Well, that could not might not be Exhibit. Maybe that's you, Puffy. How you doing?
It's not Exhibit. I'll say that.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the quote.
Whose fingers did you whose behind did you penetrate?
I've never I've never penetrated anybody's behinds.
What
There are a
about-
lot of behinds being penetrated. I'm not doing the penetrating.
Okay. You walked in on record executives having gay sex, or one executive having gay sex with a man. You don't mention that person's name. Can we talk about what record label?
No, that'll give it away. That'll give it away. But
what letter does it start with?
Not even. That'll give it away.
Why even tell
A.
something?
Don't start. Don't start. That's gonna give it away.
Diddy?
The second book. I'll cover all that in the second book.
Oh, there will be a second
There is a
book.
second book.
If you live to tell, I understand you're getting death threats.
No, I'm.
And by the way, shout out to Puffy and Farnsworth Bentley, because I know all about you two. And then Superhead's participation. But you too. Hit whatever button you see appropriate over there. How you do? All right. Now, can we please stop talking about this? Can we please just put it to rest? Please, celebrities or whatever, don't call and challenge me on this one. Because you try to come for me and it's going to be real ugly. I've been doing this damn near 20 years. And I'm not crazy. And I'm not just talking.
So, like I said, y'all, I really do believe that, she was doing other things as well. I don't know why she's acting like she doesn't remember. That is crazy. Hold on, let me see what else we got. Is there anything else that we need to see here? Let's see what she said. I wish I could read some of that book. I'm gonna have to go get that book. Let's see what else we got here. So I think that's it that all I can see right here. But I'm going to continue to look her up to see what else she said, in regards to Diddy and her engaging in entanglements, because I just don't believe she forgot anything. She may be just saying that just in case in the future she wants to, do a lawsuit or whatever the case is. I just don't understand why she would lie, though, if she's not planning that, because she clearly just talked about Diddy. You know what I'm saying? And then Gene Deal said he believed that was her giving Diddy top, so it's just crazy. So what do y'all think about that? About Superhead? Let's see what else I got on her. Hold on, y'all. Let me check on my phone. See what else I got on this lady. Let's see. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Let me look and see. Y'all still up? Be sleeping and stuff. In this chat, outside the chat, y'all still up and awake? Wait a minute. Damn it. Trying to find my messages on this phone. Oh, here it is right here. Let's see. Make sure we didn't miss anything with her. Yeah, so we just showed that. Okay, so again, I'm gonna try to probably I'm gonna read that book and I want to see what she said in detail about Diddy because I just know, and you know what, nothing too. I'm surprised Pierce did not read the book before he did the actual interview, and that way, when she's saying it says y'all went to a what's the name club or in something about some fingers and somebody's behind, all the other stuff she was saying. He could easily she has other, you know what I'm saying? And that could be, it could be anything. But she did just say in those other videos that they put, she they was quoting that she wasn't a victim. Okay, she did everything willingly. So what are those things she's talking about willingly? What things is she talking about when she says that? Right, at least. But I'm still trying to figure out why would she lie or not say exactly what went on? Why is she, doing that? Unless he told her not to say anything, who knows? But if she's saying that she's not a victim or anything, how would that be bad for her to say that she had an entanglement with Sean Diddy Combs if she's saying that she willingly did everything? He didn't do no weird shit with her. She said she never seen him do nothing weird, but yet in another video, she was talking about the freak off parties. Very, very weird. Let me see if I can find one more thing with her. Y'all, hold on. Like, then we're gonna move on. Let's see. Let's see if we can find anything else. Let's see here. Come on. It's called A. One more time. Do this. I'm about to time this off. What's going on? Hold on, y'all. Boy, it's still. Probably trying to catch up. What's happening while we wait on this to load up? Still chopping now. Okay, hold on, y'all. My internet. It's probably the internet itself. Okay. So I'll tell you what. Was the main said it was choppy. I guess the internet was messing up. I'll look deeper. Everything I heard talking about Diddy, and if I get a chance to get see if there's, she did talk about that book, see exactly what she was saying. Now, not do anything with Diddy. She said she does not recall anything. And she said, listen, when she's saying that, you can look at that in many different ways. One way you can look at it is by saying maybe he REGS on her and she just does not recall it. Or you can say, well, she's taking it up for him. So, like I said, she wouldn't remember anything and why. It's still choppy. Oh, yeah. It's still choppy. I'm going to my damn phone and do this finish doing this live. Hold on. This damn thing always be acting up, man. Damn, my nerves. Hold on. Now when I go to my phone, it's going to be a trip because now I won't be able to show y'all no videos. See. Is it still choppy, Jermaine? The signal is probably why. Let me go into the screen yard. Why this crap be doing this? It's late at night and it's doing this. Okay, so you're going to hear a little static. Bear with me real quick. Hold on, let me see how you get to this. Back to home. And I'm going to close this one out, okay? With some choppy. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this one is choppy. Let me enter the studio, then I'm going to turn that one off. So you're going to hear some static. So, okay, so now, can y'all hear me better now? Okay, so I had to take it off the desktop and just use my phone. Okay, it shouldn't be choppy now. Is it still choppy, Jermaine? Now, like I said, I'm going to look her up. That's what I was saying when the internet was breaking up. I'm going to look her up, look her book up, and then I'll look at it and see if there's anything. You said it's still choppy now? How is it still choppy now and I'm on my phone? It's still choppy now. Because it shouldn't be choppy now. I'm not even on the same internet stuff. I'm on my cell phone now. Now, can you hear me pretty good? Okay, so I said I'll look her up, right? I'll look her up. I'll look the book up, see what she says about Diddy, because I'm just trying to figure out why she is not, giving us a definite answer to if she did anything with Diddy or not. What is the whole secret about if she said in other videos that whatever she did, she willingly did? Because she said that Exhibit gave her to Diddy as a gift. Okay, so she says she's not going to try to do no lawsuits or anything else because she willingly did whatever she did. But now on his show, she said that she doesn't recall that or she doesn't remember. It's crazy. I'm just trying to figure out why would she, basically say that if she said that she wasn't forced to do anything and she did everything willingly. It's crazy. I don't understand why she would, say all of that. It's kind of strange. But I will be, like I said before, checking everything out just to see. And then just go from there. Because I'm trying to figure out why, why she's saying all these things. Now, we're going to leave away from Diddy and what's her name? Superhead. And just go on to the next person that I want to talk about. And that is Karmelo Anthony's. No, that's what's his name? Austin Metcalf's dad. Okay. Now I was going to show y'all a video, but I don't even know if I'll be able to do it. Maybe I can let y'all hear it because I'm on this damn phone. It really just messed up the whole damn live. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest with you guys, man. I'm trying to see how I can do this. This damn internet start acting crazy. That's the only thing about doing these lives. When you have technical difficulties, it's a hot ass mess. Okay, let me go see if I can find it and maybe let y'all hear this. Let's see. So it's all over TikTok and maybe over YouTube. I don't know for sure, but it is on TikTok where Austin dad, I think his name is Jeffrey. I don't have my notes right now because I'm on the phone that I usually have it on. Jeffrey allegedly called a black woman in an interview the N word. Okay. Or he said the N word. All right. And he actually confessed to it, you guys. I thought maybe they were lying. And I'm like, everybody acting like they are all shocked and things like this. But when I heard about it, I really was not shocked about it. Let me see if I can find him talking real quick. I am not shocked about that at one bit, you guys, because remember when we were talking about the incident, I was wondering if his son said anything like that to Karmelo, you know, I don't know. And we was also wondering if they were, had some type of little racism going on inside them or whatever. And we came to the conclusion back then, though, that they didn't, the kids, because they have black friends and things like that. But I don't know, because the dad saying the N word, I'm about to change my mind now because that's weird. Okay, let me look at this up real quick. Let's type this. So y'all got to bear with me tonight because my day on internet was making this choppy. It only had one bar anyway. Let's see if I can find it on here. So let's see here. What is this dude talking about? Okay, so this 6 days ago. I guess he was talking about it right here. You can't see it, but you'll be able to hear it. Let's see. Let's see if they're talking about it. Yeah, he called a black lady.
All I'm gonna say is a win's a win. I keep telling y'all that a win is a win. And for y'all that don't know what I'm talking about Jeff Metcalf, man. Yeah, talking about Jeff done set up down live and called that lady the N word, the W word, the B word.
What's the W? Hold on.
Crash that.
What is the W word? A whore? Excuse my language, you guys. That's because that's really hardcore right there. That's what he was saying? Okay, let's finish listening to this. We need to look up that video too. Let's see. We got to look it up. You can't see it, but you can hear it.
Told the other man he need to go back to something. I don't know what he was trying to say then. But yeah.
He told the other man what?
And see, one thing I'm gonna say is this, man. So I done crashed that. Told the other man he need to go back to something. I don't know what he was trying to say then. But yes, I know y'all heard. And see, one thing I'm gonna say is this, man. So y'all said it could. Shouts out to the Karmelo Anthony family, man. Shouts out to Dominique Alexander. Great video that he made. But like you were saying, this is what they've been dealing with since the beginning. This ain't nothing new to them. This is what people tried to tell y'all from the beginning about them little dumb ass white boy, Eric and Austin. I mean, what's his name? Austin Hunter. Okay, that's what we've been trying to tell y'all. They set up there and calling that boy racial slur, just like they got that stuff from their dad.
Hold on. Y'all remember when the other dude that everybody trying to say he was lying, the white dude who said that they were calling him the N-word? Okay, y'all remember that? And then I don't know if the black dude said the same thing. So let's finish listening. Let's finish listening to this. Can y'all hear this pretty good?
You feel me? And now we seeing it time after time after time with him doing stuff and saying stuff and acting a certain way. And like Dominique said in the beginning, they tried to say, oh, he grieving and this, that, and the third. But we ain't finna sit up here and let you get away with that one right there. But I don't know what the hell wrong too. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all see what we dealing with.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Right.
Yes, I always do that. Hold on. Wait, let me start back right here. So he was at right there.
Sit up here and let you get away with that one right there. But I don't know what the hell wrong too. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all see what we dealing with, man. And that's why you can only imagine the type of racial attacks and the type of threats and things like that that the family and Dominique themselves are getting. You feel me? The man sitting here showing us his true colors time and time again. He's showing up at events he shouldn't be at. Then people try to say, oh, it's a public event. That wasn't a public event. If you listen to Dominique Alexander, he told y'all that I believe it was at one of their buildings or something, but it wasn't open to him. Now, He doing stuff like that, man. He on live, he crashing out, man. However, whatever. This is unacceptable for people like that. Certain, you expect certain people, but the situation and the trial that's going on, or the case and stuff that's getting ready to go on with this ordeal, ain't no way he should been online calling no lady out their name like that.
Damn. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. We need to find that video. Hold on, let me see what some of these people are saying right here in these comment sections. Somebody said, was it really him? Now I'm gonna tell you it really was. Okay. Some people said it was they claimed that Domino Anderson hired someone to sound like him, but that's not true because he got up on a video and he actually talked about it. Jeff did. That's his actual account and everything else. Okay. Then somebody said, what did the woman say to get that reaction? Let me tell you something. I don't care what she said. You don't still start calling people racial names. He could have said any damn thing. He could even call her bitch. It would have been better than saying the N-word and whatever else he said after that. Somebody said crazy. The only reason people sticking up for Karmelo is because his skin color. Because if the roles were switched, y'all be burning cities down. No, that's not why people, maybe some people, same thing you can say, about, people sticking up for other people, they may be doing the same thing, but then you do got the people who are sticking up for him because they actually believe that it was self-defense, point blank. All right, point blank. So I don't understand why people get mad when you don't think what they think. Listen, this is a free country right here. If we, when I'm talking about far as free for us to think the way we want to. If we don't want to support who you support, that is our prerogative. We don't have to support who you support. You know what I'm saying? Just like you do not have to support who we support. I don't understand why people trip. If some people believe that he can use self-defense, that's what they believe. Just like some people believe he didn't. All right. We can't be tripping out about stuff like that. Period. Now, I want to find that video where what he said, because we listened to it before. Okay. Let me see if I can go. Let's see. Let's see if this is what
Jeff Metcalf, you're a
Was given video where it displayed Austin Metcalf's father, Jeffrey Metcalf, having an interaction with an African American female, where he used a racial slur towards her by calling her a right. The sad part is this is what we've been dealing with since the beginning of the case, right? When we first got this case, it was because of all of the tension that was around this case. And many looked at us like we were doing it. When I've been very careful with my words with this Karmelo Anthony case, but also at the same time highlighting the obvious in this situation.
Jeffrey Metcalf decided to go on a TikTok. I did that shit again. I keep on doing the same thing over again. Let me go back to this.
Jeff Metcalf, you're a
I was given video where it displayed all of the tension that was around this case. And many looked at us like we were doing it. When I've been very careful with my words with this Karmelo Anthony case, but also at the same time highlighting.
This is Dominique Alexander speaking, you guys.
Jeffrey Metcalf's actions have been justified and yet grieving. And that's yet problematic because yet you still need to be held accountable for your behavior. And you don't get a pass on calling a Black woman a nigger. You know what I mean? And so, to quote my words, you don't get that pass. And yet it is disrespect. Very disrespect to the delicacy of this situation.
Jeff Metcalf, you're a
So that Black woman said he's a racist, whatever, and then he called her Nigger allegedly. Okay. Let's see. I want to get that video where he was talking. I don't know. Let me see. Did you send me a copy of that, Jermaine? Because I don't remember. Wait, I have to hear this. Somebody said Karmelo provoke Austin so he would have an excuse to poke him. It's stupid. These people come up with the most stupidest stuff.
Race divide. Right. And I wasn't given that opportunity. I was escorted out by Dallas police officers. And then I was gaslighted by their spokesperson about how I was disrespectful to the dignity of my son, which speaks characters to the volume of convicted felon baby shaker, period. In the story.
Okay, thanks. Did you have a question? I love you, and Justy, I love you. So, okay, have a good night, y'all. Okay, Andrew, God bless.
This is a lot right here.
Yes, I have a question. Thank you for having me. Hello.
We're not going to listen on 20 minutes.
Metcalf.
Let me go.
That's right. Did you see? Okay, that's the question.
Do you think it's a good idea for you to continue to come to platforms like this in the midst of this case and what's going on?
No, ma'am. I've been instructed not to, but sometimes I don't do what I've always been told.
Okay, so
next question.
Now, supposing he's found.
No, look, first of all, I'm not going with supposing. It's hypothetical. Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Then ask it, please.
I'm trying to word it because.
Okay, go ahead. Cody, do you have a question or a comment for Joe?
Fucking dumb shit.
Hey, Mr.
Send it
Jeff.
to my new phone,
let me just
Jermaine.
preface by saying I know you've heard it all night, but I'm sorry for your loss, and I feel terrible. Quick, just 2-second background before I ask my question. I hold debate lives purely off the factuals and everything. I don't go off of opinions, and I'm entirely on the side of.
Answer the question, please.
Promote those shit. I'm not. I just wanted to give him this before I ask my question.
Ask the question, please.
Of course. So, Mr. Jeff, I've heard countless times over and over that you made a claim that Austin grabbed Karmelo's bag. Can you tell me if that's true or not?
My understanding, of course, I did not witness it, but my understanding, that is correct.
Okay, thank you for that. I wasn't aware of that. I just wanted to know. I haven't actually seen that video. And my other question to you, sir, is do you think that Karmelo went with the intent to do this, or do you think this was a situation that happened after your son's quote unquote alleged actions?
I don't think that's an appropriate question. What do you think?
Let me answer.
If you want to answer, go ahead.
Do you think that Karmelo got up in the morning and put that knife in his bag?
I 100% do, sir. Yes, sir.
With the intention of using it?
I do believe so. Yes, sir.
That's stupid, y'all. Let me go up further. I'm done.
That was brought up, but there was no punches. There was no.
Okay, so
he touched him. Does that justify? Okay, man, I'm done. Fuck off. Next person. Man, you fuck off. Yeah, you can do some. Why don't you go to fucking just somewhere where you belong?
What?
The real. Do you have a question or comment?
He said go where?
Yeah, Jeff Metcalf, you're a racist ass prick.
Fuck you, nigger fucking whore.
Ooh, sorry, y'all.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Why are you worried about a
Oh no, listen, that was him. I'm sorry. What are these people talking about when they say that was a fake voice? That's him. All right. This is the whole 23 minutes of this live right here. All right. He was rude in many segments of this. And then he told her to F you. Hold on, y'all. I don't want to get in trouble. Let me see something.
Plainly stated in colors and words.
With all due respect, who is your sons though? With all due respect, they are not nobody to tell another kid what to do and what to be.
Okay, I think you're missing the point. I think you're missing the point. If you walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, man, you're on the wrong side of
I'm trying to figure out why is he even on a damn live? When you have an open case, your dumbass should not be on a live arguing with people. And is this around 4th of July? Because they got fireworks up. This is crazy, y'all. Hold on. I didn't even know that was coming up in this video. This is the actual
video. If you go to a
video.
football game and you're on the visiting time, hey man, you're on the wrong side. You can't sit here. You have to move to the home side.
I've been to football games where I had a tent and I welcome anybody that want to get in my tent.
Those tents.
Sir, you're 35 years old. You haven't played sports.
Hey, I played
still the same, dude.
In 20 years.
I'm not gonna tell a kid to put their hands on. I'm not gonna let a kid put their hands on somebody that's just because they underneath the tent.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Why are you worried about a tent?
So rational and smart. If someone touches your arm, does that justify you stabbing them in the
a situation where someone walks up to me.
Answer the question, yes or no. Does it
I'm asking you a
justify?
question. That's not the situation.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. You walked up the whole time of the situation.
He touched him.
Yeah,
Does that justify? Okay, man, I'm done. Fuck off. Next person.
Man, you fuck off. Yeah, you disrespect.
Dude, why don't you go to fucking just somewhere where you belong?
You hear that? That's racist. Listen, hold up. That's racist right there. Okay, let's go ahead.
The real, do you have a question? Yeah, Jeff Metcalf, you're a racist ass prick.
Fuck you, nigger, fucking whore loving bitch.
Oh yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
What's up, Justin?
Yeah, that's him. So if anybody is trying to say that's not him, you need to get your ears checked. That's him. Okay, that is him. Case closed. All right. And the thing about it, he shouldn't even be up there doing any type of lives. Okay, when they have an active case. Okay, I mean, why is he even up there getting into arguments with anyone? And then the thing about it, I can understand that he's hurt and everything about his son, but you still have to people still have their right to think and support whomever they want to. All right. Some people do believe that more things happen than what the media is putting out and what we know. Okay. We weren't there. We don't know exactly what happened. He wasn't there. He's just going by what his son said. His son didn't change the story 50,000 times. So again, I do support Karmelo. Okay. I don't believe he just stabbed that boy or anything else, just to stab him. And I don't believe he put a knife in his backpack, putting it in his backpack, thinking about he may have to use it that day. Many people, kids too, carry weapons on them just in case, somebody try to grab them, like kidnap or all this weird stuff be happening. You just never know. All right. Many kids do that. They be carrying little stuff in their bag, pocket knives and everything. Okay. So I don't know why y'all sit out here in YouTube land acting like y'all don't know kids be having little knives and stuff in their backpacks, in their pockets, in all sorts of places. Period. Okay. I have picked up many kids, and I used to teach. And trust me when I say that they do be having little things, all right, on them and stuff. And that doesn't mean they're going to school or, going out with the thought in their mind that they may have to use it. If that was true, that should apply to everybody. So when when grown-ups have weapons, you mean to tell me they got weapons in their car planning on using it on someone that day, or in their purse, or on them, on their waist, in their pants leg? So they are planning on using it that day, or they just taking that with them just in case and for protection. And I actually think that's why Karmelo had the little knife in his backpack, just for protection. And it just so happened this right here happened. Now, I have said many times, and I'll say it again tonight, I think this whole situation could have been avoided. All right. Yes. Austin can say, what school you go to? You can ask the boy what school you go to and all this stuff. You don't supposed to be here. You need to leave. Okay. So if he didn't want to leave, then that's when Austin should have went over there and told the coaches point blank. And Karmelo could have went over to the coach too when Austin was asking him and telling him he had to leave. Karmelo could have just got up and said, okay, and just went right over there to the coaches and asked them if he could stay there. And if the coaches said, yeah, he could stay there, then he would have stayed there. If the coaches said no, then he would have had to leave. But let me tell you something. Again, I do not think that he had a knife because he was planning on using it, especially not, using it on Austin. How would he know that? This is something that just happened, out of the blue. And I tell you what, I think we need to wait until we see the actual video to be so concrete with what we believe, okay, or what we think we know, because we don't know. We weren't there. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to wait till we see the actual video, when they go to court to really know before we start jumping to conclusion. And a lot of people are basing their support on racism, point blank. No, it's him. It is him straight up. We just heard the actual video. Okay, that's him. You can tell all the way. And then the video that you sent me, he's talking. Okay, we're gonna say allegedly though, but he's talking on this video right here. I think this is the one you just sent me. Hold on, I think this is the same thing that I just played, so I don't need to play this one right here. I wanted to get the other video where he's. Is this the one where he's talking about it? Let's see. Hold on. I don't think it's after live. This is it's on my other phone. What's my other phone? Way over there. But we just heard the actual video. You know, fortunately I found it on here and stuff. But I want to get that other video where he was talking. Let me see if you sent that to me. Maybe we want to play Charleston White too, because I got him on the thing too. Let's see here. It's a superhead. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it on here real quick, okay? And then we'll look at this other video on Charleston White. I'm probably going to look it up on my other computer so we can hear from there, okay? Let's do this. Hold on. So let's see if we can find it on here. I just played the actual thing for you guys, so you heard it pretty good. And that's definitely him. He also confessed to doing it. That's the video I want to play.
Jeff Metcalf, ain't no way in hell you said fuck you nigga, fuck.
Girl, boy, you ain't have to say that. Okay, let's see. Let me see response to the Jeffrey. Let me see if we can do his get his tape on. I mean his video on here. Y'all bear with me tonight, cause let's see if we can find him. That's the same one. They got everybody talking about it, y'all. I'm surprised I didn't even hear about this until Jermaine brought this to my attention. Thanks, Jermaine. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find him talking because he is. I listened to a video earlier today where Jeffrey Metcalf was talking. Okay. Okay, I don't know where that video is. Let's see. Where is that? You said that's the confection. Hold on. Let me look over here and see this real quick, y'all. Hold on. On the one you just sent me from Facebook. Okay, I'm about to look that up on my other phone because I don't have it downloaded into this phone right here. Hold on, let me see. Facebook. So you sent it on this phone too. When I close this out, it's not gonna play it. Let's see. Hold on. How would I do this? Let me see if I can find it on here because I cannot open it on that phone. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Just bear with me real quick. Let's see if I can find it over here. Hold on. This is crazy. Because he confessed to doing it. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. He said he was mad. That's the reason why he said. And when you get mad, you can say things sometimes. Let's see. Hold on, let me see what they talking about here.
Now I have to note this is actually the third time I've actually heard this particular statement been made about the situation.
Let's see what this dude's about.
All I have to say that is these two Peckerwoods actually said this about this young man.
No, hold on. So he said that when they was yelling at him, telling him to leave their tent, they were calling him the N-word. That was from Metcalf's dad first interview. He said his son called him names, but it's not important. Okay. Remember, like I said, remember that other dude said the same thing, that they allegedly was calling him the N-word as well. And now you hear his dad up here calling this lady the N-word, and she didn't say really nothing that should have made him go off like that. See, he was already pissed at the man who was doing, saying all that stuff he was saying. And then he took it out on the lady who started talking to him next when she said that he was racist. And then he went all off on her and called her a WHORE, and he called her the NIGGER word. So now, I mean, we really, seeing the true stuff coming out. So now I'm wondering now if, that boy and his brother was calling him the N-word. Now I'm wondering, because, like I said, that came up into our mind before, but when we saw them, having friends of different race, both of them, we figured that they probably wasn't. Let's see. Can I find it? I'm gonna have to go to Facebook. I got to see how I can do it. Oh man. Because hold on. You have to log in. I can't log in on this phone right here, Jermaine. I'm trying to see if I can pull this up anywhere else. See. Hold on. And they said that he has a sharp tongue. You can tell he got a sharp tongue because when you listen to that video I just played, I didn't even play all of it because it's 23 minutes. You can tell the way he was reacting. Now, let me see. Trying to see if I can play it because hold on. They're not gonna let me play it unless I download Facebook. Let me see if I can play it. Hold on, y'all. Listen.
Context of the conversation, people need to understand what that person said to me first. No one mentioned what was said to me first.
Now, chances are you're probably wondering, well, how do I know that that is Jeff? Well, this person was on live stream for over 13 hours.
Oh, damn, he was on there a long time.
Fire answering questions that came to them. Someone on Facebook asked Sara Feilds why she hadn't reported on what Jeff had said. This commenter said that she, and along with hundreds of others, saw Sara in the comments saying that yes, that was Jeff. I don't have any screenshots of Sara down in the comments. Someone told me that she actually spoke about it on her TikTok page. And here's what she says. Pretty insane to crash out over someone saying the N-word, but not crash out over people saying that an innocent boy should have been poked just like his brother. Yes, this was said in the exact live stream.
Hold on, let me stop this. Let me read her. She's changing her voice. She said that Sara said, hold on. Damn it. Pretty insane to crash out over someone saying the N-word, but not crash out over people saying that an innocent boy should have been poked just like his brother. Yes, this was said in the stream. It was said in the stream. Okay, but the thing is, two wrongs don't make a right, all right? And, I don't think people should be saying that at all because these are kids, regardless. Okay, but that still doesn't give him the right to call somebody the N-word and then call them a whore. Okay, it doesn't justify that. And then Sara said, I do not defend either statement. Both are wrong. But if you're going to freak out over one, freak out over the other two. Otherwise, you're just a hypocrite with a narrative. Sit down, girl. You need to be quiet yourself. Because the thing is this right here. The same people who say they should be going crazy, because somebody said that both of them should have got popped. We said the same thing, when that situation happened a couple of weeks ago where the lady called the little kid the N-word out on the playground. And people were, condoning that and doing donations and stuff like that. The thing is, anytime someone does something bad, you know what I'm saying? Especially to kids, you should be saying something about it. All right. Period. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And as far as this guy, this man, there is no excuse because I just heard some of it. And I heard what the lady came in was talking. He called her the N word and then the W word. And he told the other dude, go back to where you came from or whatever he said. All of that is racist. Okay. And normally, if you're not racist, you're not going to be saying things like this, okay? Out of all the words he could have said, he didn't have to say the Nigger word. He could have said the W word if he wanted to. I don't even know why he would say that though. But he could have chose so many different words other than racial stuff. You can tell by his tone anyway, the way he was doing, that he has some racist shit inside of him. Let's keep it real. You can just tell that. Now let me finish playing the rest of this so y'all can hear it. I hope y'all can hear this pretty much. Okay, hold on. Because I don't want to mess around and take this video off looking at these messages and shit. Okay, let's finish listen to the rest of the stuff.
I do not defend either statement. Both are wrong. But if you're going to freak out over one, freak out over the other two. Otherwise, you're just a hypocrite with a narrative. Sit down and stop dragging me into it. I have nothing to do with what happened. My work is for Austin. R.I.P. Her description in the post said, I'll just leave this here. This is the only statement I will make about this. I condemn racism. I don't care what side it comes from. I've always had this stance. I have never brought racism into my reporting, and I never will. Harassing me and saying horrific, untrue things about me on my social media all day because of something Megan, and she has been covering this case since the beginning and calling Dominique Alexander out and things like that. I know for many of you all, this isn't going to change anything. And that's not the purpose of this video, but the facts are the facts. And I promised you all to follow this story and report it in whatever direction that this may go. This is not to overshadow or to make bigger than what has happened between Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf, and Hunter Metcalf. Jeff saying that he doesn't want race to have anything to do with it, but dropping the N-bomb is kind of like a little contradictory. And I hated the fact that I had to report it because it looks as though a grieving father is being torn down.
It actually doesn't.
When in all actuality, he put himself in a very toxic place for multiple hours and allowed himself to be taken up to a level that he went off. It's making
the thing about it though, I stress this again. Even if you do decide to get on a live on social media, you have to have some type of control. We do understand that he's, very, very, sad and all types of emotions over his son being, unalive. Okay. However, you still can't be out here calling people the N-word and W word and saying all the stuff that he said. His whole tone was off in the first place. If you can't be on a live and keep yourself under control, then why be on it? You're going to have people who think that Austin was just unalived on purpose. Then you're going to have people who think that Karmelo Anthony was using self-defense. You can't go crazy about that. Otherwise, you don't need to be on a live. And just say, even if you did get mad, leave the racial stuff out of it. Okay? Leave the racial stuff out of it, point blank. Let's finish listening to her.
Well, to question.
You're right, Jermaine.
This is how he responds to people.
He was rude in the whole thing to me.
What example were his sons given? But unfortunately, everyone pertaining to this is being highly scrutinized, and this includes Jeff. Now that I've presented proof, all you all that said hateful things to me in my inbox in the comment section and called me a liar can go ahead and apologize. Thank you.
Girl, I wouldn't even be waiting for an apology. Listen, we heard it right here on my channel. I didn't even know that was a daggone audio. Okay. And heard it, and I know that's his voice because I have heard him speak many times. All right. This is one thing I don't like about certain people. As soon as somebody say something that they shouldn't be saying, they want to run and say it's AI trickery or whatever the case is. When the man sat right there and confessed to doing it and said that he should have said it, but the lady was saying stuff to him or whatever the case is, or the man or whatever, and that made him go off. There's no excuse for it though. It just really isn't. So yes, that's him.
Like and share this.
Okay, that is him.
I can finally go live now. I tried to do it.
Hold on, let me see what you
Karmelo
got.
Anthony's family has hired a second attorney.
So that's just
what I was told. This is a big name attorney, and no, it's not the public defender.
Wait a minute, this
is Mike Howard, Karmelo's current attorney. He was the one that showed up to the bond reduction hearing. And I know some of you all are like, wait, I thought that they were broke. I thought that they needed a public defender. Well, that was a lie. That was intentionally put out to stop donations to the Anthony family, but I'm going to show y'all all that.
So that wasn't true?
If you're wondering, well, how do I know that they hired a second attorney? I verified it with my source. But on 6/25/2025, a letter of representation was filed. This was likely for Mike Howard. On 6/30/2025, another letter of representation was filed. This is for big name attorney number 2. Once I find out who that second attorney is, I'll be sure to let y'all know.
Well, he got
If you want to see what I'm looking at, all you have to do is go to the Collin County court case search tool, and you can pull all of this up. But let's backtrack real quick. So we see on 6/25/2025, when I told y'all that first letter of representation was submitted to the court. But also here you see 6/25/2025, and that is the indigent packet, and he was eligible for a public defender.
Okay.
I was told that the application was signed back in April. I don't have the actual application, but once I can see it for myself, I'll let y'all know. When Karmelo was initially arrested, he was given a public defender, and that guy's name was Derek Warpole. If you remember, Derek Warpole was replaced by Billy Clark and Kim T. Cole. Kim and Billy ultimately was replaced with Mike Howard. However, Karmelo Anthony's family never intended to use a public defender because this is too high stakes of a case. And it's basically high profile. Collin County has a list of participating attorneys who kind of serve as public defenders, but I don't think they call them public defenders because they don't have a public defender's office per se in Texas, but they do have what's called the Texas Fair Defense Act. And Mike Howard is not on this list, so therefore he is not going to be paid with public dollars as a public defender. And chances are we won't find attorney number 2 on this list either.
So you got 2 attorneys.
Derek Warpole, that very first public defender that he had, is on the Texas Fair Defense Act list. So, yeah. When I told y'all that there was an intentional effort to get the donations down for the Anthony family, this is what I mean. This is Sara Feilds. By now you should know who she is, but she has spoken out against Dominique Alexander, being tied to the Anthony family in any capacity. Here in her post, she kind of states how the Anthony family planned to use the funds, and I think she probably got this from the Gifts and Go page. But here you can see where she says, enhanced security measures likely from Dominique Alexander's fraudulent security team. So she kind of points out the fact that she believes that the Anthonys are paying Dominique Alexander with the Gifts and Go funds. And as I was scrolling, through her post, I see right here where she posted in response to someone else that says, I think everyone is done with them. If they get any donations, it will be very little to none. And Sara replied, let's hope so. My reporting on Dominique Alexander has reached millions on the X platform. I believe and hope that it has slowed down the donations considerably. I don't know if the Anthony family is paying Dominique Alexander or not. I'm not sure that anybody knows that. However, I thought that I would point this out, especially if any of you are on the fence for giving or not giving and you just want the truth. Once more information comes out about who this new big attorney is, I'll make sure to update you. So make sure you're following me.
Okay.
Karmelo Anthony has
So
a
hold
court
on.
date coming up
Wait a minute.
on July 18th, and I do plan on being in
We
attendance.
got another court date.
I'm going to be traveling all the way across the country to be there. So if you want to help your girl, your favorite reporter,
Her name is
whatever
Geneva.
you want to call me, out with some bus fare, you can send me a cash app here. Make sure you put your email address in the notes section, and I'm going to tell y'all why.
Okay, hold on. So let's see here. So
in another video.
Hold on.
I'm also going to be doing some other stuff while I'm there. I can't really reveal that just yet. So
Wait a minute,
just
what is this?
stay tuned. So yeah, Karmelo's got another attorney. It's likely
So
not a public.
he does not have, according to her, he does not have a public defender. He has a regular attorney. And the reason why we saw the public offender name on there is because originally, hold on, he had that going on, if I'm understanding it correctly. But now he has a whole different lawyer, two of them. And the one that we just saw who was up on TV and everything talking about I think that's the same dude, I'm not sure. Anyway, the lawyer they have now is not a public defender. At least we don't think he is, okay? Hold on, y'all. That was a lot. I'm glad she clarified that. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Yeah, Sara Feilds. Yeah, she's up there typing all this stuff up. And you know, the thing about it, guys, if they know that, let's look at this like this. If they know that and they believe that Karmelo Anthony just stabbed that dude for no apparent reason, he wasn't doing anything to him, making him fear for his life. Why do you feel like that you need to, say all of these things on social media? Okay? You shouldn't have to do any of these things because the truth will come out in court. Why would you be all up on your social media page trying to tell people not to donate and spreading false information and things like that to get people to stop donating? Why would you need to do all of this if you believe that Karmelo did this intentionally and he was not in fear of his life? You shouldn't have to do all of that, because if you believe what you say, then you will also believe that, he will go to prison, you know, for some years. And you don't need to do all this extra stuff. That's crazy. Somebody said the father in an interview even said it wasn't about race in April. Let me tell y'all something. People can say whatever the hell they want to say. It does not mean it's true, okay? You have so many people who claim, oh, I'm not racist. I got a black brother-in-law. I got a white sister-in-law. And they be racist as hell. Okay? So, I mean, just because somebody say something, it doesn't mean it's true. And listen, somebody said he tried to grieve with Karmelo's family and they didn't want anything to do with him. Why would you be trying to grieve with the other people's family when you think that that family son intentionally just, unalive your son? If anything, you would stay on your side and not have anything to do with them, you know, and go ahead and try to, get ready for the court case and hope that, Karmelo didn't act in self-defense. That's crazy. Why would you be trying to agree with them? Agree with your family. Of course, they don't want anything to do with you, because the reason why they wouldn't want anything to do with you, because they feel like their son did that act in self-defense, point blank. So this person said, I don't know why he would say racial slur. Why do you think a person use a racial slur? Because they're damn racist. Out of all the words you can use, you don't have to go out here and call somebody the Nigger word because you're mad. And then the way he said it, Okay, then he called her a WHORE. Then he told the other dude to go back to where you came from. What the hell does that mean? And then this person said, but it still doesn't change the fact that it was murder. Well, you know what? We definitely need to wait until they go to court and we can see that video. And then that is the only way that we can determine if it was actual murder or if it was self-defense. Okay. Then this person said, I don't think this case should be compared to other cases either, though. Well, you can compare whatever you want to. You can't tell people what they can compare and can't compare. You can compare whatever case you want to whatever case you want to compare it with. And then she said his father, or he said his father literally said not to make it a race thing. Well, since his father just went up there and called this woman the N-word and a whore, then it's about the race thing. All right. Plus, he said the stuff to the other dude who was black. That's crazy. You don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a situation like this. You know what I'm saying? Okay, your son just got unalive, right? I don't even think you should be up on social media talking about it at all because you know you're going to be feeling some type of way. And even if you do choose to go on social media to talk about it, you have to maintain some level of control. And even if you do get mad, we should not bring out racial words, even if that's what you feel on the inside. All right? Point blank. That's one thing they teach you when you do public speaking. Come on now. Somebody said this is how Austin got poked on because that's why they approached him in the first place. I don't know. Like I said before, we weren't there. Okay. We didn't see the video. Okay. I do believe he did self-defense, but I don't know 100%. And until we see the video is the only way we can say that. Okay. Now I don't know. Like I said, the other white dude said that allegedly he said he witnessed everything, I guess, or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, he said that these two boys was calling Karmelo the N-word. And if I'm trying to think what that black dude said, I think the black dude said something similar. So, I'm actually beginning to think that the N-word was used there. But that's not enough for him to, you know, take out his knife. So something more must have happened. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not enough for him to take out a weapon. Okay, so something more had to happen. Somebody said his dad is a racist. We don't know what happened. Someone passed either side you're on. You shouldn't make claim when we don't know anything. His dad being racist is not proof. Right. Okay. His dad is definitely racist. I mean, if I was out here calling somebody on social media, uh, the H word, HON, or the CRAC word, clearly I must be racist because why else would I be saying that? You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. So what are y'all saying over here? Because I cannot pull up all these messages. Let me see on this phone. Let's see. Hey, Payo, you said they trying to get the family to undermine they right to this here justice by grieving together. Right, by grieving together. And we don't need to grieve together. If my child unalive your child, you grieve with your family, I'm gonna grieve with my family. We don't need to grieve together. I don't even know. It's not gonna work. I don't know too many people who would do that. Period. Right, definitely. People, true character is always exposed when they get angry or they are intoxicated. Oh yeah, I know that's him in that recording because I know his voice. Yeah, that's him, honey. He was on I didn't know he was on there for all them damn hours. I thought that was 23 minutes. That's 23 damn hours. This dude was on that damn recording. I don't know if he was on that particular recording all that time, but he was on social media. I don't know how people be on social media every single damn day for hours at a time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, do you got a job? Do you have a career? Do you have a life? Do you have things outside of social media to do? Damn. And it's like he's trying to encourage people to think that his son was unalive on purpose. And I don't feel like you need to do all of this if you honestly believe that he was unalive on purpose. Okay, I don't feel like you need to do that, because in the courtroom, if that's what he feels and that's what he thinks and that's what his son told him, the other son told him, then he shouldn't even be worried about anything, because it would show that in the courtroom. All right, point blank. So why go through all of this? If that was me, you wouldn't even see me on social media, guys. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Okay, because especially after, if my son got unalive, I would not be on social media, certainly in no damn live, arguing with anyone. That's just out. All right. And then people were bringing up the fact that his sons are so large. Again, for me, it just depends, because I need to see the video. I need to see what happened. The only time the size of those other two boys would come into play is if these two brothers, were actually trying to fight him, or they were fighting him. Okay, if they were just talking, I don't care about the size if they didn't threaten him, or anything like that. But if they did threaten him physically or did something to him physically, then yeah, we can look at the size. But it depends on everything that transpired, like I said before. Let's see what else we got here. Let me see what else I can pull up on this. I want to. So we just heard him. Hold on, y'all. My damn mouse is sticky. I got some new computer stuff. I just haven't put it all together yet. What was I said I was going to look up? It was something else I was going to look up. Let's see what was going on here.
A situation where someone wants something to I'm asking a question.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Go and listen to the rest of that clip. Pay close attention to the end. This is from a live that happened this morning.
Oh yeah, that's the same live. We don't want to hear it again, because I want to, with the racist N word he used. And I don't know why these people try to pretend like that's not him. That's him. Lying ass people, that's him. All right? Goodness. So let's see here. Austin Metcalf father responds to self-defense claim in track. Well, we don't need to hear that again. Let's see. Let me see what he's saying here. Hold on.
I want to clarify something right off the start, because I've already heard some rumors, gossip.
You're right,
This is
man.
not a race thing, and this is not a political thing. I have compassion for every human being. This is not, I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know. They weren't there.
They don't know.
If someone wants to say race is not in this situation and shouldn't be, well, I asked all of those people to join me in calling it out. But don't look at black people and say, don't always play the race card. We don't play the race card, we live it. We know that when people see a white and a black man in an unfortunate situation happen, that race always become a factor in that situation.
And that's true. He's
I
there.
want to clarify something.
Listen, he's definitely true regarding that, okay? Period. Somebody said racist people are not mad because Austin started the fight. They are mad he lost the fight he started. And you know what? I agree with that somewhat. Because the thing is, I haven't heard not one. Well, I did hear about 3 people who said what I said. Yeah, Austin can ask Karmelo anything. You know what I'm saying? However, if Karmelo responded back and said, no, I'm not moving, I'm not leaving, then Austin and his brother should have went over there to the coach. And at the same time, I also said this, when they asked Karmelo to leave, did he go to that school? You don't belong here, leave. Karmelo should have got himself up and he could have walked over there to the coach to ask the coach. Okay, point blank. And none of this stuff would be happening right now. And I don't see anybody really saying this. Okay, so this is why I know that racism plays a huge role in this whole thing. All right. Because a lot of people sitting up here acting like it was okay for Austin and his brother just to keep on talking to this boy. All right. Just like a lot of people thought, that, Karmelo can sit there. He don't have to leave. No, he does not have to just get up and leave like that. But he should have got up and went over there to talk to the coaches to get their okay, because they are the ones that's in charge. Go ask the damn teachers, can you stay there? Because they're going to override anything these kids are saying. And I don't understand why nobody but a few people said that, because everybody is looking at race. And let's just keep it real. That's why you can see him up on a live calling someone the N word and calling them the W word, calling her the W word. And then he got mad at the dude before that. The dude before her was mad as well because he was defending Karmelo. And then, of course, he's defending his son. But he told him to go back to where you came from or where you need to be or something like that. That has a racist tone to it. Let's keep it real. So, yeah, race is definitely involved in this. Because I guarantee you, if it was the other way around, nobody would be still talking about it. All right? At all. And then people are saying that's not his voice when you can clearly hear it. And then he got up there and confessed to it. I mean, some people are crazy as hell. He got up there and confessed to it and said that it was him. And he just basically lost control because what the other person was saying to him. Said something like that. And I need to find that audio. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. And that's nothing. You're right, Jermaine. Why is the school releasing Karmelo's records to Sarah Fields? Jermaine said, would they release a white kid's record? Probably not. See, something should be done about that. Anyway, I'm pretty sure all types of rules are broken. And one thing that Black people need to learn to do, and I mean that on everything, you need to learn how to start telling stuff, hiring the appropriate people to, do what they need to do when people violate, things, laws or rules or whatever, because the school should not, if this is true, the school should not be giving this lady any records of Karmelo Anthony. If this is true, this should not be done. Y'all got to stop letting people do anything they want to do. I'm telling you. Okay, let's see the video, because I heard it earlier. Well, we just heard that, right? Yeah. Something else I was going to look up. I can't remember what I was going to look up now. Let's listen to Sara Fields, okay, y'all? Let's just do it real quick. Hold on. So she got a permanent ban from TikTok? Well, let's first hear what. I hope this man ain't on here cussing up a storm. I'm talking about Charleston White. Let's see if we can listen to him real quick, okay? I never asked you much. Okay, we can't play this because they got music. These damn people with this damn music. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Content creators, you cannot have music on and it's certainly too damn loud. We can't even hear the dude. All right. If you want us to hear the message, you have to mute that damn music or turn it all the way down. Goodness. What is this one? Karmelo Anthony case leakers tell all interview. Let me hear this first. Let's hear this.
What facts are you certain of? And I saw that you've read through the police, or you got the police report. What led you to do that? And then
This is Sara Fields.
Of this are detailed in the police report so that we're sure of this?
So the arrest report, I write a lot of open records requests, and that's how I get a lot of my news. And as far as open record requests, when you get a response to that, that's an official document. There's not really much arguing with it. And it's pretty rock solid when it comes straight from a government entity or those that you can request an open records request from. Excuse me. So as soon as this all happened, I had requested the arrest report, and I guess I got it around the same time as a couple others, but I was one of the first to post it on social media. I think one of the other people that posted it was possibly someone from Fox News, but they had it buried in an article and it was hard to get to, and not a lot of people saw it. And I think we got it around the same time, but I posted it straight to my social media, and it took off in a way that I honestly did not expect. It got millions of views, and not long after that, I started receiving threats for posting an official document, which is crazy.
But hold on.
But the document.
This is an 11-minute video. We're not going to see the whole thing. But anyway, they're saying that she's lying. And somebody said that she had someone else get her information, and that person was fired. So, I mean, I don't know much about this lady, but if this is true, it's just plainly ridiculous. And if you believe that Austin was unalive purposely, like, murdered, no self-defense, why do you need to do anything extra? Why? Why do you need to do anything extra unless you are the lawyer on the case? Now, we went over the incident report, okay, right here on my live. We went over it. I read everything that I saw. I showed you guys the incident report. I did it. I did this 2 times. And I showed you guys everything that was on that incident report. And I still do not see where they just claim that this Karmelo Anthony just purposely just stabbed Austin. Okay. And I want to know too, why won't they show the public the tape? Because if they know that Karmelo did not act in self-defense, why not show the tape and just blur out the faces like they do everything else? Why not show it so we can see what actually happened? Right. What are they covering up? You got that right, Jermaine. What are they covering up? Why don't they want us to see this video? All right. So I want to go to Charleston White. I got to get that video, but I hope I know he was saying some things. I'm trying not to get, we'll see shit, because this man be saying some things, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see if I can find him, because I don't want to see no more of this Sara chick. Let's see. Charleston White. Because some people will make you forget stuff. So y'all know that Charleston White, now we talk about him along with this entire thing as well. Y'all know that Charleston White was against Karmelo Anthony. Now he's for him. Now they have rumors going out talking about the family paid him. And I'm like saying to myself, why would they pay Charleston White? It's not like he's some big name celeb that everybody listen to and things like that. So what would be the purpose of paying him to support Karmelo? From what I was listening to with Charleston White, it seems like he's been doing some type of investigation. You know what I'm saying? Looking at stuff, information, and clearly whatever information he came up with, he saw, it made him change his mind. So that's the video I'm looking for, because I already seen it, but I'm trying to figure out where it is on here. Let me see, because I can't do anything on my phone right now. So I'm doing everything like this, you guys, so bear with me because of the technical difficulties tonight. So is this him right here? Yeah, they talk about him defend. I want to hear. I don't want to see. So he spoke to Karmelo's father, and then he changed his mind. So let's see.
Now let's stop right there, boys and girls. Stop right there. They had me to believe, based on Sara and all my Republican friends and white media, and even some black people, They had me to believe that Karmelo Anthony woke up that morning, took a knife to school with the intention of defending himself from a bully. If that was the case, he's dead wrong. And that's what I believe. So I was adamant about no.
Well, hold on, let me stop this. So, but listen, Charleston White. Okay, even if he did put a knife in his bag to defend himself against the bully, that bully is not Austin because he didn't know him. Okay, so I mean, okay, shit.
That's premeditated. You cannot be in fear and in danger and not tell nobody and take a weapon with the anticipation of hurting. You can't do that. You surely can't do it to the school. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons how you can prove he didn't bring a knife to school. They didn't charge him with a weapon. They would have stacked those charges on him and he brought the knife to school. And the police did not charge him with having a weapon on school grounds, which is a federal law and a state law. They would stack that on top of the murder rather than enhancing the charges.
Wait a minute, hold up. Okay, so we do know that anybody is allowed to, not no little bitty kids or nothing like that, but you are allowed to carry a knife, okay, in that state, okay, as long as it's not over 5 inches, right? That's what I told you guys. We looked it up. Okay, but however, on school property, like the school or anything school property, it's against school regulations to carry any sort of weapon. Now, I don't know if that's a federal offense on the school grounds if it's not a crime, otherwise. The only reason why it would be a crime is because he would have carried a knife of any size on school property, if I'm saying this correctly. But say if he wasn't on school property and he had a knife and it's under 5 inches, it wouldn't be no crime at all. So at the school, I don't know if that's a federal offense as well. I don't know for sure. I will have to look that up. Jermaine, you probably can look that up real quick. I don't know. So I don't know if what Charleston Wright, I'm sure he looked it up, so I don't know for sure. Let's go ahead and finish listening to him.
I went to Texas Western now. Dr. Greg Goulion and Dr. Linton. I made the dean's list now. This is document. I made the dean's list. I was going to law school before I started my youth organization, creating youth programs and curriculums to help teach inside the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. And by the way, Sara, I used to also teach and train the United States Department of Homeland Security Human Trafficking Division at Eastfield Police Training Academy by way of Special Agent Keith Owens, who now is an adjunct professor at UTA. I used to teach that for the Homeland Security. It's all documented, but really, it's not about me. It's not about me, Sara. It's not about me. So listen to me. So they didn't charge him with the weapon. The gorilla in the line scared his sheep. He's looking at the baboon for help. The baboon is afraid of these guys. All the monkeys and all the animals in this jungle is afraid of this silverback gorilla in this line. You know why? Because they are experts in trained jujitsu. They come to school high on fentanyl. This is white people's George Floyd, by the way. Austin Metcalf is white people's George Floyd. He really died of a fentanyl overdose because the autopsy said he had fentanyl in his.
Okay, so once again, I don't know if we found the autopsy report or not. We couldn't find it. I don't think we could find it. I don't know how he got that information, but if he got into all this other stuff he was talking about, he may got it. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay.
Steroid use. He was just cycling off because it's.
Let's rewind that a little bit.
Football season. Austin white people's George Floyd. He really died of a fentanyl overdose because the autopsy said he had fentanyl in the system. Steroid use. He was just cycling off because it's off of football, but during football season.
I mean, hold up. So he's saying that he passed on because of fentanyl abuse, right? Well, I tend to disagree with that. That's not what they say. But I don't know. Okay. I don't. He passed on from a stab wound. Okay.
Austin is steroid nut buddies. His dad said they excelled in every sport. So with their physical abilities and capabilities and strength, based on what they teach them in the licensed academy classes, the CHL gun classes, anybody bigger than you can boom, 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 boom. Body size is a form of a weapon under the law.
We need to look that up.
Two extremely big guys who are, nigga, go in the bedroom with your sister and your girl in. There are two bigger guys who are trained and skilled in mixed martial arts jiu-jitsu that can severely.
Okay, hold on. Jermaine, you need to look that up. You said yes, YouTube beast, and he protects himself. Jermaine, also you need to look that up. See if body size, what he just said. He said something about body size can be counted as a weapon, can be used as a weapon. You can defend yourself. Yeah, that may be true. Okay. Yeah, if somebody is actually putting, trying to fight you, trying to do something to you, then yes, I believe in certain situations that you can, defend yourself. Some big person coming up on you trying to unalive you, of course, but that applies to even if a small person come up to you and trying to unalive you, it's self-defense. All right. But what we need to make sure of, and hopefully Karmelo knows that, they did something to make him fear for his life. All right. You said Austin Metcalf's actual autopsy has not yet been released. So any claims of fentanyl in his system are completely false and part of misinformation. That's what I'm saying. I never heard of that. From what I read, they said that he passed on because of a stab wound. All right, point blank. So I don't know what Charleston's talking about, where he got his information from. Okay.
Steroids, fentanyl, anger issues, abusive dad. You bring that trauma to school with you. You take it out on the football field, but you have a reputation of bullying people from, I think, about the 4th grade, these Austin twin brothers. So you can't just fight one. You have to fight two. That's why this is a package deal. So two men approach you bigger than size. You mean to tell me you don't have the right to defend yourself?
Okay, so if they both did approach him like that, and they were approaching him in an aggressive manner where they were trying to do something to him, to cause him to fear for his life, then yes, he has all the right in the world to defend himself, self-defense. And that's what I think something like that happened. Now, just say, they didn't do this, then we looking at something else, okay? Let's see what you said, right? You said, yes, absolutely. Body size can matter in a Texas self-defense claim, but only as part of what a reasonable person would perceive, not because the law explicitly lists height and weight. And I just basically said that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Okay, go ahead. Charleston, go ahead. Wait a minute, hold on.
This is a George Floyd. The autopsy said he has fentanyl in the system. So another lie that they said, he brought the knife to school. He didn't have a knife. He had a Boy Scouts, aid tool. Well, what's on that tool? They have 12 different components. You lift this one up, it may be a bottle opener. You lift this one up, it may be a screwdriver. And they're about this small. They're smaller than 3 inches. It was so small, you don't even see it when they take the picture next to the body because it laid next to the body right by the backpack. Sara Feilds. Oh, they didn't know a nigga can do due diligence works like this. Oh, they didn't know a nigga can do it due diligence. I went to Texas Western. They taught me how to research. They taught me how to go into the library database and pull up other articles and things like that and go get the court page. I know how to do what you do, Sara. I just play an ignorant nigga online because it pays much more than what you make. I get 10,000, so I pay a crazy nigga. Then I come online and be a great dad. See, my daughter just walked by right there. So my daughter just graduated high school last year. She's waiting to go to college. So while she's waiting to go to college, I put her in Paul Mitchell Beauty School. She just graduated that the other day. So while she waits to go to college. But listen to me, right? Now let's stop right there, boys.
Okay, so he changed his mind. This is a lukewarm video I just showed you. The other one I showed was a hot ass mess. I don't even know if I'm gonna show it because he was saying a lot of stuff. Okay, y'all may have to go research that one for yourself. I think they edited this one or whatever the case is, but he changed his mind. Now he's supporting Karmelo Anthony, and he has every right to. So I don't know why people are mad about that. He has every right to change his mind. So this is part two. Hopefully he's not cussing and stuff. Let's see.
Nice that he did stab the kid in the chest. Then what did he say? Documented on the court document on the police report is that he said, "Touch me and see what happens." So therefore, he know he has this object in his bag. He said, "Touch me and see what happens." He removes the object, stabs the kid in the chest with enough force and enough depth that it killed him almost instantly. He didn't die at the hospital, y'all. He died in his brother's arms at the track meet. Now they may have pronounced him at another time. He was dead at the track meet. His brother saw him go dead. So to make these claims is foolish. To say that the girl Sara Feilds, which shout out to Sara Feilds, I looked at her social media and she's all over this story, promoting facts and pointing out.
She's lying about stuff. Well, I do not like black people like this. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. I don't even want to hear no more of this foolishness he's talking. All right, point blank. First of all, people have the right to defend whomever they want to. Just like he can get up here and start talking what he think anybody else can do it too. Okay, point blank. He said that Hunter said that he was holding his brother when his brother passed on. I don't know if his brother was passed on the pitch. Okay. I don't know if he was the field. All right. If he had passed on there or if he passed on at the hospital or what. Like I said before, Hunter has changed his story a few times. Okay. We heard it right here on my show when we was listening to it. I always look up stuff and I always just go overboard with looking up stuff. And he changed the story a couple of times, okay? At least a few times, more than 2 times. And the mom said that Austin passed away at the hospital, okay? So I don't know. Like I said before, I don't know where they're getting all this stuff from. And I just cannot watch people who just say stuff, especially black people who just say stuff just to fit in and be liked by white people. That's crazy. So let's see. Okay, let's see what he talking about right here. This is crazy. Hold on.
He go beat these charges.
Listen.
I was under the impression that you brought a knife to school. Take a knife to school. Fuck him. He didn't take a knife to school. He didn't even know these 2 white boys. These 2 white boys just came over because he was with another kid that knew those white boys. So he a new black kid who these big old white boys, big white boys. He a small frame kid. One of the white boys was on that side. One of the white boys on that side. So either way go, they had him blocked in. And
let me stop this. I hate when I have to do this, but you really supposed to do it like this. Listen, he's saying the same thing that the white dude said in the black dude, I believe, that they had him cornered. I don't know if this is true or not because I haven't seen the video, but I'm wondering if they did that. Because it's a reason why they did not show us that video. If Karmelo just took his knife out and just stabbed this boy, you would think they would just go ahead and show that video so we can all shut up the people who think that, Karmelo Anthony used self-defense. You would think they would show that just so we can shut up. Instead, they only let a couple of people see it and they couldn't tell anybody about it. And then the little information they did give us, it really wasn't information like that. It was brief. They went all around the real facts and just told us what we basically already knew. It's like, what's going on here? Why didn't they release it to the public so we can see it? Why? And everybody keep on, and another thing too, why do you keep on saying because this boy was sitting underneath the tent? Y'all act like that's a big ass crime for one thing. All right, that's what y'all act like. It's a big ass crime, because he's sitting underneath the tent and he deserved, everything that happened, when Austin and his brother came over there and confronted him. No, let me tell you something. Let me say this again. Yeah, they can confront him. Yeah, because they're kids. But when Karmelo said, I'm not leaving or make me leave or whatever he said, if he's objecting to what they're saying, a sane person would have went over there and told the coach. Even kids do this. Okay, so you can't just say because they're kids. They were 17. Okay. And if you're thinking about your football career and your life ahead of you, you would take your ass over there and talk to the coach and let the coaches know that we got this kid over here. Don't go to the school and he's sitting up underneath the tent and we think, we got our equipment over here and things like that. Then the coach would have came over there. Okay. And at the same time, like I said before, Karmelo could have got up like he's leaving and just walked over there to the coach and asked them, can he stay there? I still say that, and I will always say that. Okay? So you said, Jermaine, hold on. You said they showed the videos to select members of the press, so they can spin the narrative. If Karmelo was guilty, they would have released it to everybody. That's my opinion. I think so too. And Paulo said, amen. Yeah, I think if Karmelo would have been the one that got unalive, okay? Is that what you just said? Hold on, let me make sure what you said. No, you said if Karmelo was guilty, you think they would have released it to everyone. Right. If Karmelo would have did what they're saying he did, just stabbed this boy and unalived him and had it planned and he came out to unalive somebody. If they would have saw that in that video, I believe too, they would have shown that. Okay. They would have shown that video to everybody. Okay. And let's go ahead and finish listening to Mr. Charleston White.
Some big, violent, aggressive white boys who got guns, and not only that, the one he killed whooped their dad. See, the daddy coming into the picture playing like he been around.
What?
The daddy ain't been around. We would think the black man.
Stop. I gotta stop again. Did he just say what I thought he just said? Where is he getting this information from? He said, let me just repeat it. So allegedly, okay, Austin beat up his dad. Allegedly. That's what Charleston White is saying. Okay. And we need to find evidence of this because I'm always about that proof. All right. Jermaine, did you see anything about that? I don't know how we would find that information out because Austin is a minor. So just say if he did do that and it's a police report, it may be sealed. But, where is Charleston getting this information from?
The mother identified the daddy as the husband. So what?
So the mother hold on. The mother does not identify the dad as the what? The husband as the dad? Let's look at this right here.
Charleston White is speaking on Karmelo Anthony and the murder of Austin Metcalf that happened in Texas. No wonder God is black. The black people got a heart of grace.
Oh, this is all when he was defending Austin. Okay, he switched. So let's see this one right here.
He deserved to go to prison. If you take a life, you ain't supposed to be able to walk away with no consequences. It's consequences to your actions, right or wrong. Even if you justified to take a life, your life wasn't in danger.
Well,
Karmelo was wrong.
I'm so glad he changed his mind because he wasn't there. Okay, if you are not there, you cannot say for sure that this boy was wrong or anything because you did not see the damn altercation. Okay, they did not show us a video. That's why I keep on stressing we need to see the video. Okay, because without seeing the video, none of us know exactly what happened. For real, we just don't. You said you can't listen to Charleston White. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Let's see. The Metcalf dad said on that TikTok that he broke his shoulder doing jiu-jitsu, causing him to have shoulder replacement. So that's what he said. So what was Charleston saying? Was Charleston trying to say that Austin messed up his dad's arm, his shoulder? Because like I said, for me, I don't know where Charleston White is getting this information. I'm a proof person. If you say something, you need to show me the information. So for me, this is all allegedly, and it's really irrelevant. But we're listening to it. And thank you for coming in.
Dead
Too.
wrong. In the witness accounts of what he said, he grabbed the book bag. Let me tell black people how dumb y'all is. Don't you know they got a police report with an evidence of a knife and not a cleat sharpener? There's no such thing as a cleat sharpener. They have evidence of police report.
Let me stop it right there. That's a damn lie. We looked up cleat sharpener, and I showed you guys pictures of it. Okay, and they did talk about a damn bag. All right, I forgot what color it is, but they talked about the bag in the incident report. Okay. Plus, the witnesses said something about the damn bag. We're gonna listen to those two people again too, because I need to refresh my memory to what both of these people said. So the dad said Austin broke his shoulder doing his jiu-jitsu. And honestly, I honestly believe that. Okay. It's simple for me. Okay. These are kids. Okay, like I said before. And I just feel like everything just got out of hand. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. And I think, like I said before, that the coaches should have been involved. Okay. In my opinion, all these kids could have went over there to the coach. Austin Hunter and Karmelo. You know what I'm saying? Versus everything that happened. And I hate the way grown-ups sit up here and just be saying shit when they should be saying what's right, because there's gonna be many more situations like this. And the same thing will probably happen again because parents don't tell their kids right. I mean, damn. Yeah, he can ask, do you go to the school? And Karmelo can say, no, I don't go to the school. And he can say, well, you need to leave. And Karmelo can say, no, I'm not leaving. Make me leave or whatever. So when he said that, if that's what he said at that particular time, that's when Austin and his brother should have went right over there to the coach and let the coaches handle it. And at the same time, let me say this again, I still say that Karmelo could have gotten up and walked himself right over there to the coaches to see if he can stay there. And then we wouldn't even be having this conversation. All right. It's just plainly crazy. So I don't, like I said, Charleston, I don't know where he's getting this information from. I just don't know.
It confiscated a knife. How dumb can y'all be? They're black people. Y'all don't have no compassion for a parent who has to bury their child. Y'all haven't extended no level of empathy for another dead kid. Black people, I hate that this kid will be sacrificed, but he's not from real.
So you said, wait a minute, Demetra, you said that you do believe that he was fighting his dad because jiu-jitsu, you are trained to not be breaking people's shoulders unless it happened on an accident. Like I said, I definitely need to see some proof. I wonder where Charleston White got that information from, because if he got the information and it's proof, then there you go. I'm just wondering, because he's saying a lot of allegations here, and I'm just wondering. I don't know much about that jiu-jitsu or whatever the case is. So I don't know what you can break or whatever the case is. So let's finish listening to him. But thanks for clarifying that.
Several months later, I want to take the time to apologize to Karmelo Anthony's family. Man, I was all the way wrong about that kid. I was always wrong about that kid.
Yeah, you just indicted.
I was always wrong about that kid. I met with his father. I've been meeting with his father regularly, and I had opportunity to talk, piece him up. He go beat these charges. I was under the impression that he brought a knife to school. So I'm taking knife to school, fuck him.
He didn't take a knife to school. He didn't even know these two white boys. These two white boys just came over with because he was with another kid that knew those white boys. So he a new black kid who these big old white boys, big white boys. He a small frame kid. One of the white boys was on that side, one of the white boys on that side. So either way go, they had him blocked in. And these some big white boys. These are some big, violent, aggressive white boys who got guns. And not only that, the one he killed, whooped their dad. His sons are bullies. They bullied on the kid. They no, because he's black. Get from up under the tent. Man, y'all tripping. I ain't going nowhere. And they got a reputation of beating up people. The one he had to stab, he broke his daddy's ligaments. Big old strong.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about Charleston White, who is going viral because he is now coming out and apologizing to the Karmelo Anthony family after having a conversation.
Yeah, we're not going to listen to the rest of this, okay? Because I don't want to hear his commentary. But anyway, the thing is that if Charleston White has proof, and then Jermaine said he was talking to Karmelo's dad, then who's to say it's not true? We don't know about his arm being broken by his son, because his son was fighting him. And one may ask, what does this have to do with what happened to him? It can play a role in it. I mean, because it can show that he's aggressive, he's violent. It can show those things if this is true. I don't know if it's true or not. Like I said, I can't say if that's true unless I see actual proof. So I don't know. But if it is true, that's a hot ass mess. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, what I just saw on video and heard, anything is possible. Okay, from his dad, anything is possible. Okay. Now let me go to the video where these two people were talking about what they saw happen. What was that dude's name? The white dude. His name was. What was that dude's name? Who? Let me see. Hold on. Let me look it up. Let me do the black one first. I got to put it like this because here they won't let you see it if you put certain words. Let's see if I can pull up the place thing. Okay, this is this dude right here. So let's listen to him again. It's the white dude, actually. Okay.
So all that being said, he was looking for a way out.
Before you continue, do you know of anything that was said by the brother to?
It's a lot of hearsay because it's not a police report that I'm aware of. Okay. But from the father was, gonna punch you in the face with the word. Mm-hmm. So that I'm sure will come to light in the next hearing.
So you said I'm gonna punch you in the face, and
that's all laid out.
Hold on.
And I think that's I know that
I'm still up here eating these damn hot ass fries and didn't hear what he said. Did he just say allegedly the boy said I'm gonna punch you in the face Nigger because he said the N word? Let me replay that. Wait, let me replay that.
So that I'm sure will come to light in the next hearing, and how that's all laid out. And I think that's I know that's when Karmelo said touch me. Find out what happens. The kid just I told you yesterday, in our phone conversation, he was accepted to a
Let me
well-known
go ahead and
university.
rewind it because we went too far. Hold on. Let me go back. This is a second interview with this dude.
You know, he was looking for a way out.
Before you continue, do you know of anything that was said by the brother to
You know, it's a lot of hearsay because it's not the police report that I'm aware of. Okay. But from the father was, gonna punch you in the face with the N-word.
Yeah.
So, that
I'm gonna punch you in the face. N-I-G-G-E-R.
The next hearing, and how that's all laid out. And I think that's, I know that's when Karmelo said, touch me, find out what happens. The kid just, I told you yesterday, in our phone conversation, he was accepted to a well-known university. Of course, I hope people will understand I cannot give that out, but astro engineering, are you kidding me? That is one smart kid. And not that if he did do anything, found guilty, innocent, but, judges don't want to throw promising young people in jail. They don't. And I'm not giving anybody excuse. There should have been no loss of life. Absolutely none. But, if that was your kid surrounded by, outweighing over 200 pounds, two people coming at your kid over 200 pounds, as he said, what would you want your kid to have done? I mean, what would you want your kid to do? Another thing is yesterday I heard someone reading off the penal kick code 46.03, saying that poker. So all that being said,
okay, so that was that white dude. I think the dad's friend or something who was at the bond hearing. This is the other part of the video. I didn't even see this part of it. Okay. Right. You said, well, the father used that word, not so far-fetched that the son would, right? He definitely got inside information. Let me go to the other dude now. Now, you heard what he said. He said they were surrounding him, and they said, I'm going to punch you in the face, the N-word, okay? Who else? Let me go to the black dude. Let's see, this is another witness right here. See.
This is for the students around the situation to see what happened, and this is what he had to say.
trying to get back to their cars or
This is the witness.
in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra with it. Dude was sitting up on the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah.
He's talking about Karmelo.
I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity, so I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So, dude walks up, McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent.
He's talking about the twins.
They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry.
Karmelo was on his phone.
Went from another. They grabbed this man.
Grabbed him.
They tried to punch on dude. Dude went in they went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened.
Mind you, this man does not know Karmelo.
That's one. It was both of them, bro. Hosting the dude that got unalive and his brother. Basically went over there to intentionally. It's not to the point that he brought a knife. For one, it wasn't on school property. The school is
wasn't on school property.
Wait, it was community track meet, bro. It wasn't a school track meet.
Thank you. Finally,
okay. So I don't know if this man was telling the truth or not. Like I said before, like I said with everyone, but the thing about it is this right here. We won't know the 100% truth until we see that video. We can sit up here and we can try to guess all we want, but we will not know what happened. Okay? Period. If Austin and his brother surrounded Karmelo, and proceeded to threaten him and maybe even hit him and things like that and make him fear for his life, then yes, he's going to use what he has to do to use in order to get out of that situation. On the other hand, if those two boys just was talking and didn't do anything to him, and he just took his, you know what, out, then it is what it is. All right. But we will only know this when we see the video of the situation, the altercation. That is the only way we're going to know what happened. Period. Now let's see what else we got here. And those are the only two witnesses. Because they would not release the daggone tape to us to see. There was something else I wanted to tell you guys about, but I don't remember what it was. And it's amazing how, too, another thing is amazing, how none of these kids who had a phone leaked any videos of that altercation. It's amazing how no one did. And let me just say something to people there's a lot of people out here making videos too, saying that this boy deserved to be unalive. Y'all shouldn't say that because that's not good. That's cruel, and you never know when you may be in the same position. You shouldn't say that. If anything, like I said, people should be saying just what I said. They should have went over there and told the coaches, okay? Period. And diffuse the whole situation. And parents, we got to learn, we have to make sure we instill into our children to learn when to leave people alone. If somebody tell you to leave them alone for real. You know, if they are doing something, that you don't think they should be doing, go and get the proper person to handle it. It's just that simple. I don't know what these people talking about right here. Let me see something real quick. Let me see what these people talking about.
Austin Metcalf is exactly what he's supposed to be. He's exactly what he's supposed to be. Jeff, be proud of yourself. Because your child is exactly what he's supposed to be.
Why would you make a video like that? I'm not playing them.
And listen carefully and listen closely.
I gotta hear part of this first. Let me see what he's saying.
Jeff Metcalf initially was playing, sticking his dirty fingers dirty to
Oh, shit.
in women's flower boxes.
What?
Without the HRA approval. All the flower boxes is all women. And he did not have their approval to do any of the gardening he planned to do. He did not get the HOA approval, which led to a lawsuit. Now, me being the little sleuth I am when I want to be, I went to look and find those lawsuits in 2011 that was posted on Twitter by a group called C. Smaces. And I couldn't find it because allegedly the DA that's prosecuting Anthony Karmelo right now is the same DA that helped him with your settlement on a quarry. I proposed for those women whose garden beds he held up were out to HOA's approval. He did not have the housing authority approval, allegedly, which also is the reason why him and his wife is divorced. Yeah. So that being said, Mr. Metcalf, be proud of yourself because the seeds you sown into your children, obstinate hunting, and let me tell you what it was. It was the seeds of smacism, grape tree, bigotry, and clan seeds that you plant to them boys reaped our harvest, and now harvest is Austin. Them children did everything they did what you wanted them to do. They went on their first hunting trip as instructed. My POCs caused them destruction, caused them torture, caused them any type
Okay, I can't listen to all this. Okay. The thing is this right here. In the end, what matters is what happened on that field. That's what matters. Okay. All this other stuff, looking at people's backgrounds, all this is irrelevant. Okay. All we need to know is what happened, and we won't find that out until the court case. All this other stuff, what Austin dad was doing, and all these other things these people are talking about, it is what it is. I don't know if they did it or not. I don't care. The only thing I care about is finding out what happened at that field. That's it. That's all I care about. regarding this. And we just heard him, the dad, right there on the live, calling that woman the N word, the W word. That's a damn shame, you guys, period. I mean, I don't care, if you are mad and sad and all this other stuff, that is still no justification for using racial slurs, period. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure you keep it tasteful. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen. Okay? Now, I forgot what else I'm supposed to be talking about because this right here went on and on and on. Let me take this off. Well, do you remember, Jermaine? Let me see. Let me go to my thing. Look. Hold on, y'all. So, we got Garth Brooks and the Texas flood, okay? You said, well, the fathers use that word, not so far-fetched that the son would. Okay, that's the old message. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to Garth Brooks, okay? I'm going to type him up and see what some updated information we done found about Mr. Brooks. And let me put these up because I'm only supposed to be eating these right now. Something about being up late. Y'all be in here eating damn snacks, okay? Like something's wrong with me. Let me put this stuff over here. So let's look up Garth Brooks now. Sorry about, this, that I have to look up information. It's just everything is on my other phone. Since I'm talking on my phone, it's hard for me to go back and forth. Hold on, let me see this real quick, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so let me look this up on this site, and then I'll go back to TikTok real quick. Actually, let me just open up a different page. Let me do it over here because I still got this stuff up from earlier. Hold on. Let me close that out. Okay, hold on. Let me go back over here. I don't know. Wait. Okay, I don't know if y'all can hear me or not then. Okay, let me look up Garth Brooks. I got your stuff right there, but it's on my other phone. Okay. Hold on, y'all. So, Garth Brooks, the country singer, okay, civil arguments over allegations that country music superstar Garth Brooks raped and actually assaulted a former employee will continue in court. He tried to get that case dismissed. So they decided that it will continue on to court. Okay, let's see what they know. So let's see here. Okay, so I actually said that wrong. Let me just go back over it again. So anyway, they have some civil arguments over allegations that country music superstar Garth Brooks raped and actually assaulted a former employee. That will continue in court. Now, Brooks' accuser asked for a lawsuit he filed against her in a Mississippi court to be dismissed last year. A judge recently ruled that the request is moot. Okay? Her similar case in a California federal court is on hold pending the Mississippi court's decision. So this is what we know so far. So somebody asks, why are there Garth Brooks lawsuits in Mississippi and California? Their attorneys were in a settlement negotiations, and her counsel said they would file a suit in California court if no resolution was reached by September the 13th. Talks continued until September the 9th, and Brooks filed in Mississippi on the 13th. He lives in Tennessee and she lives in Mississippi. All right. Anyway, an attorney representing Roe, which is a pseudonym for the former employee, told the court the country music star suit was filed intentionally in the Magnolia state to conflict with the California lawsuit. They said it was an attempt to work around the anti-strategic lawsuit against public participation provision. Anti-SLAPP protects people from meritless lawsuits that aim to intimidate someone from exercising their First Amendment rights. Now, Garth Brooks' initial suit argued that they needed pseudonyms for him and for her, to protect both sides' privacy. Now, Miss Rowe, filed her complaint on October the 3rd in California State Court. It was moved to the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California in November. In the initial filing, she used Rowe as a pseudonym for herself, but Brooks' name. One of the attorneys said it was to smear his reputation. In October the 8th court filing from Brooks' team, both of their names were used. Although the woman's name is listed in public records, this source right here does not release the names of those alleging rape or sexual assault. Now, after Brooks filed using their full names, Rowe's attorney said releasing her name was done purely out of spite. So the Mississippi case was later sealed. Anyway, Garth Brooks argues that Miss Rowe is trying to blackmail him. They said that Garth Brooks was reportedly trying to keep Rowe from going public with allegations that he raped and actually abused her in 2019 while Rowe was working for him as a hairdresser. Brooks' lawsuit argues he wanted relief from Rowe's alleged attempt to extort, defame, and inflict emotional distress through outrageous conduct and false allegations of extra misconduct, deemed harmful to Brooks' reputation and family. In this complaint, Brooks said Rowe sent him 2 demand letters in which she threatened to go public with the allegations and sue him unless he paid her millions of dollars. Brooks wanted tort claims, damages, and declaratory relief at first, but later amended the complaint to only damages. Anyway, in her filings, the woman described herself as hair and makeup stylist who worked with Brooks' wife, country singer Trisha Yearwood, beginning in 1999 and started working for Brooks in 2017. In that complaint, Rose said Brooks learned of her financial hardship and used that to take advantage of her. Rose said in the lawsuit that Brooks asked her to travel to LA with him for a Grammy program. Rowe alleged the two flew together and alone in Brooks' private plane. When they arrived, Rowe allegedly found out Brooks had booked a hotel suite with one bed for both of them. Rowe then alleged that while the two were alone in the suite, Brooks raped her and held her small body upside down by her feet. Hey, young Wiz, thank you so much for tuning in. She was helpless to move from his grip and terrified at what was happening to her. While he held her upside down, dangling her by her ankles, all the blood rushed to her head, causing her to be dizzy and sick. They said afterward it was business as usual. Mrs. Rowe worked quickly to style his hair and do his makeup for the event, so he was on time. The woman also alleged Brooks talked about sexual fantasies with her, sent her actually explicit text messages, and exposed his, you know what, to her many times, including during the 2019 incident when Brooks walked out of the shower naked and forced her to grab his eggplant. Brooks and his attorneys have continued to deny all wrongdoings and label the accusations as extortion. Now, this is what the judge ruled on the motion to dismiss. Jane Rowe filed a motion to dismiss the suit last fall. She also filed a motion to change the venue, which was later amended. There was a motion hearing via Zoom held in January. On May the 1st, U.S. District Judge Henry T. Wingate found that the motion to dismiss was moot on the Mississippi case. That means the issue is not relevant anymore for some reason. The update in federal court filings online says he will not file a written order on the issue. Now, the California law stands here. In December, Brooks' motion to dismiss the California lawsuit was stayed pending updates in the Mississippi suit. Now, his attorneys were to update the California judge within 10 court days, meaning days the court is opening, of any rulings. No updates were yet filed in the federal record, but the deadline has not been reached as of May the 12th. So what do y'all think about that? It's a trip, huh? Yes, you got text messages and everything. So we will, see. Definitely see what California is talking about. Man, that's crazy. The issue is not relevant anymore. So what do y'all think about all these damn celebs with all these allegations? Every day you got different celebs or athletes facing actual assault allegations and things like that. What y'all think about that? What's wrong with some of these damn people? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You got like this man, Garth Brooks, Russell Brand. It's so many, I can't even remember all of them. It's a lot of people though. It's a lot of people. It ain't just rappers. It's regular actors, all types of people. I don't understand how these people get all this money, success, fame, and they just still got to, indulge in weird shit. I mean, come on, it's just like that man who just won $163 million, in Kentucky lottery, right? In the lottery in Kentucky. And you would think he would have stopped all his felonies and shit. And this man just continues to do stuff. Now he's sitting his stupid self in prison right now or jail and rich as hell. Okay, it's crazy. I don't know what be wrong with people. But, I guess you can't take certain things out of certain people. You know, no matter how much money they have or how much success or fame they have. It sure is every single day. And Combs be having so many lawsuits. It's crazy. Then we see another lawsuit for him. Let's make sure. I told y'all this is going to be a little longer live tonight because of all this stuff. The final one we're going to cover, though, is going to be the Texas flood. Real quick. Let me just check something real quick. So he did win. Let me see what civil. Let's see. Hold on. So Diddy's legal team claims win after judge issues ruling in a civil extra assault case. Let's see which one this is. So he won the one against April Lampros. Okay. So they said, according to a court document obtained by U.S. Today, Stowe agreed to Combs' request to dismiss claims about any incidents that are found to have happened before December the 19th, 2000, when the Gender Motivated Violence Act went into effect in New York City. So April accused Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault and battery. Okay, back in May 2024. She alleged 4 unwanted sexual advances from Combs, a rape in 1995, a sexual assault in 1996, a coerced sexual performance in rape in 1998, and a sexual assault in her apartment either at the end of 2000 or early 2001. So in August 19 bid to dismiss April's lawsuit, Combs' lawyer says she filed this baseless lawsuit more than 20 years after the end of her romantic relationship with Mr. Combs, and added that each and every one of her false claims is deficient on its face and must be dismissed. So they did say Combs has maintained his innocence in response to at least 70 sexual assault lawsuits, which detail alleged incidents dating back to the 1900s. Excuse me, not the 1900s, the 1990s. The 55-year-old music producer and businessman who was convicted of P charges on July the 2nd has been in jail since September amid his recently wrapped up criminal case. As we already know, he will be sentenced on October the 3rd. Okay, so there you go with that right there. Okay. I'm just reading over this real quick, y'all. So what y'all got to say about that chat? You said, I think some are lies and some are true. Can't no one grate me and we settle it with money. They going to jail. I know that's right. What I don't understand is that, I mean, you know, I can understand how a person could wait maybe a year, maybe even 2. I wouldn't, but I'm just saying I know some people have to wait. But waiting 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, that's so damn weird. You know, I mean, if you are, for me, if you are going through so much trauma, pain, and everything else, why? I don't understand why they just didn't go file a police report so this person could pay for what they did or he did. I don't understand all that waiting. It makes people look like they just making up stuff when they wait like that. So I do think too. I think some are lies. I think some are true. You know, and then you got some that have a combination of lies and truth. It's plainly ridiculous. So it is what it is with Sean Diddy Combs. Let me see if he got any more things that I need to talk about. Then we're gonna go and cover that Texas flood right quick. Any updates, and then we got out of here. Hold on, y'all. I'm just making sure. And I tell you what, this shit is gonna go on forever with Diddy because all these lawsuits, man, it's a lot. So I think that's it with the updated information or news on Sean Diddy Combs. Because basically they're just repeating the same thing over and over again. Let me see what this person talking about. He wants some what? Okay. I got, article after article, but we're not going to go into all that. Let me go ahead and skip on to the Texas flood updates, you guys. So let's see what we got going here. So they did say the unalive toll rises to 119. Okay, that includes kids from Camp Mystic. Okay, and they said that camp was built on an extremely hazardous flood area. Okay, and I wonder why did they allow that? Now they still got like 173 people still missing. Okay. There were 27 young girls unalived at that camp, the Mystic Camp, okay, which was an all-girls Christian summer camp situated on the bank of the Guadalupe River. So 5 campers, man, that's sad, and one 19-year-old counselor remain missing as of today. They said many of the cabins were built on extremely hazardous floodways where water moves at its highest velocity in depth. All right. So right now, they are in the process of putting together a timeline of the actions local officials took ahead of the flood. And I guess they're going to show that to the people who look over those things. So, of course, they were out there looking for survivors today, well, Wednesday. They say Kerr County remains the epicenter of the disaster, where officials say 96 people were unalive and in a further 161 remain missing. They said with each passing hour, the chances of finding the missing people alive diminish. That's crazy. It's really crazy for them to have to build, some cabins right there, right so close to that damn river. You know what I'm saying? In a flood zone. That's kind of weird. I wonder why did they do that? It's crazy. It definitely needs to be. You said there should be resignations, and the public officials must take accountability. They definitely need to take accountability because this does not even make any sense. And then again, like I said yesterday and the day before that, I don't understand why these camp programs, even the schools, certain jobs won't allow you to keep your phone on you. Just turn it off. Just turn it off and put it on vibration. At the camps, they said no one had a cell phone because they weren't allowed to bring them. I'm just thinking if they would have had a cell phone, maybe, the alert would have came up and they could have got out of there before the water came in and stuff. You said, oh, hold on. 45 minutes was wasted. No one did anything. Crazy. So they definitely need to be getting that timeline together to show what they were doing before the flood reached them. And they need to be investigated. It's crazy. Let's see what else we got over here for them. So yeah, that's crazy, you guys. So I just told y'all, the little updates. Not too much more to update regarding that. Mm-mm-mm. And then you know what? They may have more rain there too. That's crazy. They also had a flash flood in Mexico. Three people were unalive there. Then they had a flood over there in North Carolina. Then we do know one young man, 23 years old, was unalive too. I think he got trapped in a flood in his car. So yeah, I think floods are the number one unalivers when you talk about natural disasters. Okay. Um, so I think that's it with the updates on the Texas flood. So they had a flood in California a long time ago. Let's see. Oh yeah, that was a shit back in the. This picture looked tripped out. Let me see what it looked like.
As we watch those horrific images from Texas, many have asked whether our local rivers and creeks could experience similar levels of flash
I want to
flooding.
go. So this is California back.
62 remains by far the worst,
Wow.
killing 4,000, 1% of the state's entire population back then. In 1928, storms caused the collapse of the St. Francis Dam 40 miles north of Los
Wow,
Angeles.
I didn't even know they had flood
killing
here like that.
450 people in canyon communities to the west.
Damn, they had that
The
flood.
1964 Christmas flood was a major statewide
Damn, I didn't even know they had that.
people and countless cattle. The 1997 New Year's flood
I didn't know they had one there.
on Northern California, killing 9. But as much as overflowing banks, Californians must now deal with water and mud flows coming from wildfire burn scars.
Wow.
We know some of the messages that are going to go out.
It's amazing what you learn when you be on this computer, but that is all the updates though regarding the flooding in Texas. And again, my condolences are expressed out to everybody who lost kids and other loved ones and friends, family, period. And my prayers are expressed out to you guys. And my prayers are expressed out to everybody who was injured and to people who lost their dogs and, for the animals and everything. And I hope they do find all those other people that are still missing. 173 people. And I think they said 27 of those are kids from Mystic Camp. So hopefully they find all of these people and I do hope they're alive. But as they said, the days go by. But anything is possible. So we always got to keep on having hope. You said what? Let's see. You said during Katrina it was flooding that unalive most people when the levees broke. Yeah, that Katrina was very devastating. Let me look that up real quick and see how many people passed on in Katrina. What time is it? I got about 10 more minutes, John, and I got to go. Let's see real quick. I keep on thinking today is Friday. Today is just Thursday. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's see. 1,800 people, 1,833 people passed on, you guys. Damages soared above $100 billion. So that was one of the most DEADLIST floods, okay? That happened back in 2005. Had a lot of floods. So yeah, it is what it is though. And hopefully, they will figure out, a different approach or added approaches to notify people, of extreme weather conditions so people can have enough time to get out, especially when it comes to floods and things like that, where you can, give people some notification, an hour before time or something. So y'all, I think I covered everything. I hope I didn't miss anything. I think I covered every topic that I said I was going to talk about. All right. So y'all just let me know what y'all think about everything we talked about in the comments section. I don't like messing with this dang on phone too much. It's a little bit different than my computer. Let me see if I can do this though. So y'all, if y'all enjoyed this content, make sure y'all thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Oh my God, let's see this. And hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. And thank you guys so much. And don't forget, if you want to show additional support for this channel, you can do a super sticker, super chat, a membership for $4.99 per month, or you can do a cash app at $ShadeStube. All right. Other than that, y'all have a good night and a happy and blessed Thursday. Y'all check out my other videos, my shorts, and my other videos that I put up. And show your girl some support there. And thank y'all so much. Thank you to Jermaine. Let me see if I can remember y'all names off my. Let me look over here and see. Thank you to Jermaine, Young Riz, Demetria. Thank you so much. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate you being here. Payo, Tony Bands, Most Hated. Let's see who else. Jermaine. I'm just smacking on this daggone gum. I know that. And everybody in the chat and everybody who watches this in the replay, I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. And thank you again. Have a good night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow with a new Night Owl Live Talk Time. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. And thanks, Jermaine. Okay, let's do this. I got to change all the banners and things, y'all, because I'll be like on a whole nother level when I be on this phone. I mean, where is the banners at? So let's go down here and change this. Okay, now I gotta go down here and put the music on. So let's see how you do that. We gotta go back to over here. No, that's the chat, y'all. I'll be tripping out on this daggone phone. All right, y'all. Good night. I'm about to get out of here. Peace out. Have a blessed Thursday. And thank you guys so much.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Woo! Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view. She say what she want and laughs all day. Look on Shades Tube, press replay. You thought I lacked game, back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Look on Shades Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one. one line, is somebody hurt? Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with shade. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's tool. She back again. Late night with Shay. Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day.